Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games. There are just too many RPGs. I don't have the time.
Haven't you put 140 hours into VR chat?
Chris Wolfhard.
Oh no, there's too much cake.
And Dr. Agro.
Rent? You mean La Boheme?
Here on GigaBoots.
Sip.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 281 of Big Think Dimension, the video game podcast where we tell you what you should be able to figure out if you pay attention. I'm your host, Dan Video Games. I like putting dots together via lines, Bob.
It's surprisingly harder than you might think.
It is so hard because I had to listen to 5 years of people just be like, you couldn't possibly draw that line.
Yeah, you can't square that circle.
There are people out there who really can't circle that square right now. But that's okay. They're in an unfireable position at a giant mega corporation.
Cool.
Weird thing for Big Think Dimension. We got the word news in the upper left in the first couple of minutes. I don't know why. That's weird. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. Maybe change it to the word opening.
Yeah, we can't talk about Phil Spencer's plan yet.
No, we can't. Not yet. Not yet. Incoming GigaBoots predicts the future supercut. Oh my god. Please, someone else, please.
Yeah. Oh shit, the thing that was up in the air came down.
What? Dude, like
we have predictive power that outstrips any AI.
That is true, actually. Yes. AI
yeah,
is
it's not
literally
hard when Google now tells you shit like the guy who invented the backflip was named John Backflip and his business rival was named Jack Frontflip.
It was really weird to deal with all of this because there was the part where Netflix had their somebody did an analysis of Netflix's financials years before Game Pass was announced and explained this is not a sustainable or very profitable business model and they're hemorrhaging money to get it going, and then doing it again even harder in order to get content that is theirs on their platform. Microsoft didn't even successfully do the second part because for anyone who didn't pay attention, that's how Netflix ever got profitable. They started making their own shit, which they only had to pay for once. And then they could... The problem is Microsoft bought most of the industry and then still goes, well, we can't put Call of Duty on it. You fucking crazy. Anyways, we're not talking about that. Even weirder for the opening of Big Think. Bob and I didn't play some cryptid video game none of you have heard of. It's for last week's stream. Because the 4th made it weird. We didn't want to do Big Think Dimension while a bunch of fireworks were going off. So we didn't do that on Thursday. So we did Big Think on Friday, which means we didn't have a weird Friday stream where we pull out some 7th gen cryptid title and went, look at this, isn't that weird? That's weird. So instead I get to go, I really, really fucking enjoy Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth 8. That's a damn good game. I had a delightful time. Bob did too, as we spent 3 hours in the arcade. Isn't that right, Bob?
4 hours, and no, at that point it was like, no more.
Yeah, I saw some heartbreaking clips of that.
It was fantastic. We got every item in that arcade. That was very important. And somehow that wasn't even the long part. Somehow Spike Out was the long part because...
yeah, the game was made cruelly.
Yeah, Spike Out is like a 3D beat 'em up made by the director of the former director or creative director of the Yakuza series, Nagoshi. In between, what was it, Daytona USA and Monkey Ball? And it's just deranged.
Yeah, you're never actually supposed to beat more than 2 levels of that, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
That's an arcade game for you, though.
I was afraid immediately when someone in chat was just like, Yeah, did you know it's insanely rare to get a 1cc run on this game, and very few people in the entire world are capable? And I'm like, oh, that can't be a good sign.
Yeah.
It turns out, yeah, it's because they have 10 million health each by like halfway through, so you're just pounding them for minutes. Minutes and minutes and minutes of you punching dudes. Was it great, Bob?
It was not great.
It had good aesthetics. That's about all I could say about Spike Out. That's about it. You?
Yeah, no, they're really Spike Out. Cannot recommend it. Like, play a little bit of it. Never try and beat it.
Yeah,
Because beating it doesn't even get you anything you want. You don't get a cool ending. You get nothing, basically. It's just like, here's
They don't
credits.
even give you a reward for beating it. Like in Like a Dragon, they don't give you an achievement or accomplishment. No. They just give you shit for playing it.
I bet you get points somewhere.
Maybe
like in one of those point systems where it's like doing things in the game gives you these points. Whenever you get so many points, you can like spend them at a vendor for some sort of benefit. That's a thing that's been in the games for a while.
See, in the upper right, it has those pop-ups for like that sort of thing, and it gave it to us for playing the game. It didn't give it to us for beating the game. Also, Spiff, who's beaten this game, says nope.
Well, yeah, they're just for fun mostly.
Yeah,
which I respect, especially since a lot of the times they're like, yeah, here's a port that's better than any other version of the game available.
Which is
we won't. They should really figure out something like, hey, you own Yakuza Infinite Wealth. Here's downloadable versions of these arcade games you can boot from the system OS.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, or just release this, like we talked about during the stream, how they should release a separate game that's just a compilation of all these things they've done.
Yeah,
because there's like you said, a lot of them are the best versions you can play of those.
Well, yeah, there's like best versions of a lot of Sega arcade games from these like fucking Fantasy Zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
Fantasy Zone's so fucking good.
If they just took all of those arcade games and put that on a disc, they could easily charge $60, and it would be like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. These are great video games, and I love the ability to easily play them without having how many Yakuza games can you install on a PS5? Is it 7 of them? There has to be a couple more.
I think all of them. Let's see. You have 1 through 8. Then do we want to count Judgment?
Yeah, because that's also got these games.
That's true.
We got 2 of those.
Judgment 1 and 2, so that's 10. Then the spin-off, The Man Who Erased His Name, that's 11, and then the
Ishin.
Well, Ishin doesn't have any arcade games, though,
right? That's what I was going to say.
So
obviously,
that's
one.
11, yeah. Because you have no. I'm sorry, because I forgot that I have to count 0. So 0 through 8, that's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 2 Judgment games, then the spinoff, so 12. Yeah, you can play the entire series on modern platforms now. A form of each game.
Right.
Kenzan?
I really want them to do. Yeah, Kenzan is the one that's not the Bakumatsu era, but is further back in your Miyamoto Musashi.
And you can't play that on the US systems.
No, hopefully they do
that.
They
arrest you?
I would like them to do like remakes like they did with Ishin of the 2 PSP ones, where you're playing as like a street thug who does like street fights, and I think those were made by Arika, so they have like some of their weird wrestling grappling combat in it.
God, what was that? I was reading something about Arika recently. Can't remember what though. Yeah, no, I really fucking enjoy Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It is, as I said last week, incredibly soap opera core. It is very goofy. It has fantastic stories. It is good. It is a good ratio of cool to heartfelt to melodramatic, right? All of these elements are well blended in this game. Oh, and also funny, because so many of the side objective things are just humorous.
Right.
I've been enjoying this immensely. You know, I talked to Bob about the fact that this is the first JRPG I've played since, I think, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, because I passed on Sea of Stars.
Right.
This is ignoring remakes, because of course I played some of Star Ocean 2's remake, and I also played Super Mario RPG's remake.
That's true.
But I realized a far more absurd the last time I did blank was this, but also now this. So I watched a little bit of The Rise of Skywalker this week, and then I remember the last Star Wars thing I also watched was The Rise of Skywalker, and I went a little insane as I just went, oh my God, literally nothing in between.
Yeah, that's crazy. They didn't make a movie. They haven't made any movies since. They've just been making series.
Right, so of course.
Right.
We keep getting reports that Rey movie is fucked in some way or another. So it seems like the next Star Wars movie we're going to get is the fucking Mandalorian movie that Sony is going to. I'm not Sony. Fuck. God, it's such a stupid idea. I assumed it was Sony.
Fair. No, legit.
Disney is going to learn very brutally that, like, bro, you shipped a TV special to theaters. Ain't nobody care.
I feel like that might work.
I mean, The Marvels was basically that, and nobody cared.
Right,
but people liked The Mandalorian way more than they liked, I think, any of those series.
Yeah.
Are they going to show, like, is it going to, like, it's not going to do Star Wars money.
No.
I don't think people are going to turn out to a movie that's like, based on this show, hope you watched 4 seasons.
Yeah,
that always is like they need to make sure it's very established and like standalone, even if it is part of that series, because that's what you have to do with these.
I don't even think you can. The issue is like public perception more than the reality of what the thing that they make.
Right,
like that's always the problem. I think they also want to make an Ahsoka movie, and I'm like, guys, just no, don't make a fucking Ahsoka movie.
I also watched the tiniest amount of Ahsoka, and it was weird when characters said lines and expressed feelings through their face, and there was silence at any moment. Because once again, the last 2 things I saw before that were The Rise of Skywalker and The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that movie's so much worse. It's so bad.
I saw there was some Twitter thread that went viral a little bit ago where this person who's like 19 or 20 was watching The New Hope, and they were like, this is like an adventure movie with fun things. I'm so used to Star Wars being like a character dourly looking at the camera and saying, Glup Shido has returned. It's like, yeah, they sure haven't managed to make a movie that felt like that.
Yeah. It is like, I was thinking about the other day, I was like, man, the prequels were really bad. They were absolutely just badly made movies, and somehow Disney made 2 movies worse, which is impressive.
Well, here's the thing: George Lucas, for any criticisms you can lob at the man, likes things. Like he has things he enjoys. So when he made the prequels, they still were rooted in his fondness of like old film serials, noir, to an extent comic books, like old WW2 dogfighting movies. These Disney things are all rooted in the Star Wars Wikipedia. Like, I haven't seen any Neo Star Wars thing that felt like it was inspired by another thing, except Andor, the one thing that people actually like. It seems like people really enjoy.
I mean,
other than like the first couple seasons of The Mandalorian before they decided to make it some other show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, a lot of that was actually good, and it very obviously super inspired by we watched the Westerns. Like, there's just a ton of that energy, which is
and they were like, fun. Well, we need season 4 of The Mandalorian to be season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett.
I think another part of this is like the sequel trilogy is the least revisitable trilogy of any of them, because you can't watch any one of those films without basically walking away with the emotional meme state of, so all that was bullshit, because no part of that movie
all 3 of the movies
properly supports any part of any of the other 3.
And
nothing makes sense between them.
Everybody's like, they should have had a plan, which I agree, but I think just having the same person do all 3 also would have still been fine, because George Lucas didn't have a fucking plan with the original ones. He made Star Wars, it did really well, and he said, oh shit, I better come up with something for more.
I mean,
so
I would say
possible.
I would say, like, there are 2 top tips. There are 2 different paths, right? And you could do both, but they're 2 very different options. One of them is have a plan, okay? And the other one is just have anyone other than fucking Abrams do the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Abrams put way too many mystery boxes in the first one. Like, No New Hope isn't filled with mystery boxes. It's just an adventure story.
You can't do that and not have the plan, because then that results in the rest of the trilogy.
I haven't seen Abrams Trek in a million years. Are there mystery boxes in Abrams Trek?
I don't remember a single mystery box in the first one.
It is just too stupid to have that even. Like, those are some of the most vapid, idiotic movies ever made.
That first one's pretty fucking dumb.
Those are why he got given Star Wars.
Yeah, because everyone said, "Oh, this is actually, kind of Star Warsy. They should give him Star Wars."
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
And then we were like, "Oh, that was a fucking monkey spot."
Yeah.
How did we get here?
Conversationally,
capitalism.
Why are we I looked up and we were relitigating Star Wars. What the fuck were we talking about?
Is it relitigation? I think we were just saying. I think we were reading the minutes of like the trial where it was convicted. I don't think there's any relitigation going on here.
Yeah, somehow Yakuza wasn't here.
Look, aggro. Even the dead have ears. Anyway. I am looking forward to playing way more Yakuza Like a Dragon. If I didn't completely mess up my throat by doing the 13-hour oopsie death stream, then I would have gone live with it more than once in the last week, because that was fucking delightful. That was such a good time. I really enjoy every fucking aspect of that goddamn game, especially when they explain Kiryu's cancer. And then we stopped playing the spoiler music.
I was gonna say, is it even a spoiler? I kind of put it in various trailers.
No, it's totally spoiler. Totally spoiler.
Which again, the funniest part of like the man who erased his name was just all the parts were very obviously more than normal. Kiryu's like, "Oh, I need a cigarette."
Yeah, that explanation's very funny.
It is so good, Chris. So good. Anyway, I wish I bought this game on disc so that way when we're done with it, I could send it. It'd be like the traveling pants, right? We would just ship it to our co-hosts and then say, wear these pants.
Hey, I have a copy already. I'm looking at it. It's on my desk.
Well, that doesn't help aggro.
They put it on. I mean, he could get it for like $30 now. They don't wait at all. They're like, oh, it starts at 70. Well, it'll be 30 in 2 months.
Yeah, the PC version sounds like it's pretty good. So I'm kind of really curious. Apparently 7 was not nearly as good on PC, and I was like, that makes sense because 7's not as technically fit on console either.
That's true. It was
like 8's much more solid. Like I've kind of been surprised by. Oh yeah, this is a worthwhile thing to share. I had a moment during the stream where I'm like, we haven't seen the game in fidelity mode. So we dig through all the options. We don't see it. I go, well, this must be one of those games where it reads your system preference and then it chooses frame rate or fidelity based on that. I go and check. We don't have a preference set. So I go, okay, well, I'm going to set it anyways, and we'll reboot. There is no fidelity mode in Like a Dragon 8. I have never won more. The game runs at 60, dumbass. It's a fucking RPG with active time hits.
I joked last week about how Trails into Daybreak has like, do you want this game to run at 1800p 60 or 4K 30? PS5 has no option.
Oh.
It's just like, no, there's one mode. It's the mode where it runs at 60.
Huh. Oh yeah, did your demo save transfer okay?
Yes, it did. It transferred just fine.
Because I still don't have a copy yet, so I need to. I might play more in the demo.
Jesus Christ! Did you call them to see if they even fucking have one? Because for anyone who doesn't remember Big Think last week, Bob pre-ordered it in GameStop. Had 2 pre-orders, only ordered 1 copy.
I called them like 5 times yesterday, and they never answered the phone. So it's not going well.
They suck so bad.
Yeah.
But again, that demo goes on for fucking ever. Did you get out of the prologue?
No.
Then you have like 8 hours left of that demo.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm in the second dungeon.
The chapters are fucking long. I thought I'd get to like pretty close to the end by the time of this podcast. I think I got to like I'm roughly halfway through, I think.
I have a specific Daybreak anecdote. Weirdly enough, the PC version of Daybreak supports an anti-aliasing rarely, if ever, seen anywhere else ever before.
Okay.
John Linneman from Digital Foundry was absolutely gushing about the thing. The thing was an invented form of anti-aliasing, even better than MSAA to some extent in a lot of ways. But it's never been used in anything because basically all engines stopped being able to do MSAA because they all do temporal shit now. All engines are stochastic or whatever. And so this amazing form of anti-aliasing is exclusive to this one fucking video game. It looks great. I can't remember. I think it's, what was it, SSGSA or something. It's fucking insane to me that we accidentally broke game engines so hard for performance sake that we can't have good image quality. Because, of course, this thing doesn't have temporal AA artifacts. It's a sane, normal type of anti-aliasing.
All tech took a massive wrong turn. I have no idea how we're here. It doesn't make any sense. It's like they threw up on screen and everyone just was applauding. It was like, yeah, we can. This is the ideal, actually.
They're looking at somebody literally in the office threw up on a monitor, and they're looking at it and they're like, it looks a little rough, but if we smooth it out over time.
It's like all in the pursuit of better screenshots. It's like everything's video now, idiot.
Also, like all of building your engine to work the way the modern ones do actually just results in these videos like looking worse in general because it's not a stable thing it's doing.
Yeah.
You literally have to stop doing everything in order for these things to look. I mean, just watch, what was it, the Digital Foundry frame generation video where in order to not have tons of problems, you watch as Alex doesn't turn the camera and slowly walks down a rather flat, direct hallway. I'm like, this is rough. This is rough, dude. Anyways, that's my Daybreak thing. Did Chris, did you just want to talk about that now? You've been playing
Sure,
it.
I can talk about Trails through Daybreak. This game is a really great starting off point. Nothing from the previous games has really directly mattered. Like there's been one or two characters that showed up, but those are like you don't need context on these characters. They make their personalities clear very quickly. And you don't need like info on the 45 different evil societies in this franchise. Like they give you the relevant information.
Mm-hmm.
The combat is weird. Well, not weird, but their weird fusion of real-time action combat and turn-based stuff is a little wonky.
Mm-hmm.
The way it works is you hit them, and at any time while hitting them, you can press square, and that transitions into turn-based combat. If you stun them by hitting them enough and then do it, you get like a move that deals damage to all the enemies, and whatever character you were controlling starts first. It's most useful as a way you can just blast through like really small enemies. You don't even have to. You can just hit them a couple times and they'll usually die. And if you're revisiting old areas for whatever reason, you just one hit kills them.
Nope.
The turn-based combat is now kind of like fucking Hyperdimension Neptunia.
How so?
Well, in Hyperdimension Neptunia, when it's a character's turn, you have free control of them to move anywhere within like their movement radius.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put in their command and it shows where the command will hit, and you can like move around to get as many characters targeted by that attack as possible.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
It is a little bit like that when I played it, but
because
it
on like 7 you can move your character.
Yeah, but unlike Infinite Wealth, not everyone's just walking back and forth idly. So you can.
Oh, so the enemies are just
characters
locked in.
don't idly move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
enemies you can only move on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
enemies aren't like walking back and forth.
They're not fucking your shit up.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier to maintain.
There's also positionals now, which were not in previous games because those were just normal turn-based games. So it's like this move deals more damage if you hit the enemy from the side. This move deals more damage if you hit enemies from the back.
That would explain all the walking around.
I do not like the way they changed the turn order display into. Because in Trails of Cold Steel, it's just like a linear turn order. Like, here's the turns. You can see when each person will go. Now it's on the top of the screen, and the left side is your guys, and the right side is the enemy. So it's harder to tell who goes when.
Oh.
And then both sides like progress closer to the center. So it's a little harder. Maybe there's a thing in the menu to make it linear. I didn't check. But it is a little bit difficult for me to tell exactly when characters get to go. They also changed the way status effects work, which thank God. Trails of Cold Steel had this thing where they had 75 different status effects that were all horrible and made your bones hollow. Like, it wasn't enough to just have like sleep. Instead, there was like 4 different status effects that is, you don't get to take an action and something horrible happens to you. Like the status effect called Faint, where they're on their knees with like birds going around their fucking head like a cartoon. You can't take actions and anything that hits you is a crit.
Oof.
Or Freeze, where you can't take actions and you take a bunch of damage on your turn. Or Sleep, which is just sleep.
And then Nightmare, which is sleep, but when it ends, you take a bunch of damage.
Or this one that Bagger hasn't seen yet called Super Burn, which is it deals like 60% of your health per round, and you can't cure it with normal things. You need like special super things to cure it.
God damn, I was just gonna say, like, the first time I get to an item shop and I like purple herb cures super burn, I just turn the game off. So it's a good thing normal items won't cure it. I won't see it coming.
I think that's only in Reverie, to be fair, and I also think there's only one enemy that even inflicts it.
Oh, that rules.
In fact, I think Aggro has met the guy that inflicts it.
I was gonna ask if it was him.
Yeah, who causes super burn? Could it be the dude literally named McBurn, the unending conflagration? But somehow the status effects in this game make me more upset because they don't. Instead of a status effect debilitating you and taking your turn, it only has a chance of taking that character's turn. But the evil part is it makes you input your command before you get to find out if you get to do it or not. So this character's
so like Pokemon
paralyzed.
style.
Yeah.
Kind of like Pokemon. This character's paralyzed. So that means if they try to do anything but cast magic, there's a chance it'll fizzle. So it sucks a lot to have them try and do it, and it goes no. Especially after chapter 3, where like every enemy inflicts paralysis. This is it, so far. Again, I'm like halfway through it. It has kind of the same feeling that all first entries in one of these sub Trails franchises have, where it kind of feels like you're getting jerked around by the villains. Where it's like you're kind of stopping them, but at the same time they're acting like they don't care at all. Like they're Eisening your ass, where they kind of just like, that didn't matter at all, and then they leave.
Is it Eisen or Muramasa or Jinkarya's plan? I guess Jinkarya actually acted like you were fucking shit up with him, and then the twist was at one point he's like, haha, that's what I wanted, and it was the biggest ask from an audience ever.
Trails is usually pretty good about not having the villain go, actually, you were helping me.
Uh-huh.
They also tend to avoid the thing that sucks every time it happens in an RPG, where it's like, we gotta stop the villains from getting these 4 things. Because you just know, like, well, we're not. Like, I don't think there's ever been an RPG in history where you actually stop the villains from collecting the 4 things they need to do whatever.
Well, I know an action RPG we played recently where we collected the 4 things to open a door. Notionally, it was to stop someone from doing something, but that's not really how that worked out.
So basically, from the start of this franchise to now, they have sped run in I think it has been 6 years in the universe from the start of Trails in the Sky to the start of Trails Through Daybreak, and in that time, they have basically sped run from the end of World War I to the 80s.
Wait, really? I always
Trails in the Sky
figured
was 6 years before.
I always figured that was like 10 or 20 years at least.
Nope, 6.
That's insane.
It's 6. Okay, so Trails in the Sky happened 6 years ago. Then I think 6 months or a year later, the Crossbell games and Cold Steel 1 and 2 happen. Then 3 years after that, Cold Steel 3 and 4 happen, and then Reverie happened 6 months after that. And I think 2 years after that, Daybreak happens. So 6 years, yeah. But I like how that's reflected, like this new technology, which is you just have PCs now. Like characters have PCs, they have smartphones. Some character has a fucking Switch. But you go out into the boonies and it's like, that shit hasn't gotten here. We have one truck. Like the mayor has a computer, maybe. So you get this nice element of like, no, shit really is moving fast, and it's not instantly everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Since the setting this game is in is called Calvard, it is the America, equivalent
Analog.
in that universe, analog. Whereas the Sky games was, I guess France is close enough because they got invaded by Germany to start World War I. And then the Cold Steel games is Arabonia, the Arabonian Empire, which is Germany, pretty much. And then you had the Crossbell, which is like a city-state that's like equivalent to like Sweden or Switzerland. Like one of those tiny little European countries that gets conquered every 5 minutes. In fact, that's explicitly a thing. That's explicitly a thing in like the history of the setting. And now that we're in Calvard, NPCs all have this tone like, we fucking hate Crossbell so much. We keep having to go to war because they keep getting annexed. By
Oh my god!
Like I
we're
think
still gonna go there on
of,
vacation though.
At the start of Cold Steel 1, it's like both superpowers claim it's their territory, but don't do anything about it, so they don't have to go to war over it. And
Yes,
Crossbell's
exactly.
like, we're an independent state, and they're both like, sure, honey.
And they're like, we have a nuclear bomb. And they're like, oh, maybe we better go. We better maybe address this a little bit. I'm really scared. I don't know if it's going to be in this game, or if it's going to be in the next game, or if it's going to be in the one that isn't out yet. I'm really scared we're going to have JRPG 9/11. Because we had World War I, we had World War II.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple other big historical moments of like the 20th century. So I'm really afraid that at some point we're just gonna have 9/11.
Looking forward to it.
Bob, did you get to the thing in the demo?
What thing?
The thing where you have to do a boss fight and it's different from the normal combat system.
No.
Okay, so you haven't even gotten to the thing yet. The thing is very cool. Cold Steel made you wait until the entire end of the fucking game to get to the thing. Their thing, but Daybreak's thing they give you at the start of at the end of the prologue. They brought back the really complicated shit from the first two sub games that they got rid of in Cold Steel, because there used to be this shit where, okay, you have lines on your on like your materia thing, like imagine like a web of lines, straight lines, and you put materia in them that either gives you a spell or gives you like buffs a stat, or it has some other effect in addition to buffing a stat, like you can see all the treasure chests on the map now. And all those materia would have elemental values, and you got additional spells if a line had the right elemental values on it. It was really fucking complicated. Which is why they got rid of it in Cold Steel. And they brought it back for this one.
Yeah, it was.
I spent half a Cold Steel trying to figure out why it looked like that if it wasn't doing anything, terrified that I was fucking it up until I read about that.
In this, it's not a web, it's just 4 straight lines, 4 horizontal lines. And instead of giving you spells, it gives you like weird bonuses for the combat system, like you hit an enemy and you might do extra fire damage. Or you hit an enemy and you get them pretty close to being dead and you'll automatically do a follow-up attack that will kill them. Stuff like that. Now you get spells by installing the right OS on your phone. And you can get additional spells on top of that by installing special SD cards in your phone that have those spells on them. It's pretty cool. I like this game a lot. It looks very nice. It's weird that now characters will, like NPCs will just be like doing animations. That never happened before. That's jarring to see like a couple characters dancing. I'm like, oh my God, no NPC ever moved before. They just stand there or walk back and forth.
Impressive.
Jesus.
It's like
Also,
owning an Android phone.
Yeah. The main character drives a big truck. He drives like the Ford F-350 kill all children truck.
Good year. Good addition.
It looks a lot better than the truck from Trails of Cold Steel 3 that looks like it's T-posing because they couldn't really figure out how to make a car work.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
So they're just kind of sliding it along the ground frictionlessly. But yeah, stellar game. They're really leaning into the anime shit now, like even more than Cold Steel. Also, this game is City Hunter. Like it's very explicitly City Hunter. The main character's job, like being a Spriggan, is just being a sweeper from City Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost 1-to-1. He has the same color scheme of having blue hair and a blue jacket and a red shirt, but they hide it a little bit by giving him a white vest over the red shirt.
Yeah, now he's covert.
Yeah, and he's not shredded.
You get jobs the exact same way.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
City Hunter, I don't know if it's a thing in that movie, but in City Hunter, you hire the City Hunter, but you hire the main character by writing like XYZ on this chalkboard.
Yeah, yeah, that's in the movie.
In this, you put a card that also is 3 letters on the back of a chalkboard.
Very different.
Incredibly. I was going to ask, is the main character of this game like absolutely fucking shredded like the guy from the new City Hunter movie on Netflix?
Yes. He's also obsessed with taking public baths. Like he goes to the public bathhouse.
Okay, it sounds like it really does have a similar energy here.
His 2 big character traits are he's obsessed with sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes taking public baths. Like he likes going to the bathhouse. 1 second, I think a cat somehow invaded and got somewhere. I have no idea how or where they got in from.
Right here.
I can't do anything about them right now, so I'll have to do something about them later. They are out of my reach, hiding.
Mischievous cat.
But yeah, this game is a lot of fun. It's pretty much shooting. Going from Cold Steel 1, this franchise really does just go up. It just progresses up higher in quality linearly.
Mm.
So this is a really strong top 3 game of the year contender so far.
Yeah, in fact, it's not even Falcom's only game this year.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That's rough. We're gonna this game of the year is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance Like a Dragon 8, 2 different Falcom RPGs.
This is also the first time I didn't feel like I needed to use the speed up at all, like in one of their games.
Oh.
It feels like they did the thing I keep saying, which is, no, just make your fucking animations faster. In fact, some very specifically feel like even at running at normal speeds, like you sped this up. This was slower initially. And I'm like, good. That's all I have to say about Daybreak though, since nobody else has gotten into it really.
Worth noting, and chat's bringing it up too. Daybreak 2 is supposed to come out next year in the States.
Amazon
we talked about
has
last
Amazon has its release date as March 31st, so they seemingly want it out Q1.
Yeah,
That's fucking insane.
yeah. Like I tweeted about last week. Like, this seems ludicrous to someone who hasn't really kept up with the dates in Japan and here, and how I know just knows that we're way behind.
Fucking deranged.
So you gotta quickly get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be like, well, we can't do Kyoto Xanadu because we didn't do Tokyo Xanadu. Like, I assume that whoever did Tokyo Xanadu, what I think is Access. I think they probably have like first right of refusal. Like, we get it unless we say no.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how that shit usually works. So I assume that Nisa's like, well, let's fucking catch up.
Yeah, that seems possible. Just a fun anecdote real quick. During the Like a Dragon 8 stream, there was a very sad moment as we had an emotionally shocking revelation and characters had to learn something terrible about their good friend and buddy, Kiryu. It could be anything. And it starts playing a sad theme, I believe, during this cutscene for the first time, but it might have been a side story one. And someone in chat said, "Oh yeah, theme of sad!" Which just made me go, oh my god, they're reusing the music from the older ones? Is that what's happening here? Because I know the legacy of Yakuza is just using the whole animal forever, which is awesome.
We were joking about, the next Judgment game is going to be set in Hawaii.
Where like,
That
they're
feels
just reusing it.
It feels almost almost certain that they will find some reason to go to Hawaii in Judgment, in the next Judgment game.
So
they don't throw this shit out.
This is the exact opposite emotional reaction to recognizing a theme from a thing that goes years back to what I have in Bleach when I hear the bout riff.
It's so good though.
We opened an episode in the episodes we watched in the last week, because we watched about 14 of the 26 or so that are required for the next review. And oh my god, it opened the episode with the fucking da-da-da-da-da-da, and I screamed.
I was clapping. It was great.
It was horrible.
Anytime I see Aizen's cat face, they should play that.
Oh yeah, anytime they draw Aizen's mouth way too wide, they should, because it reminds me of all of the flubs they did drawing Bounce.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. We can just jump around from person to person. Let's hey Aggro, what you been playing?
The only thing I have managed to play any of is some more SMT5.
Cool.
Very briefly, I have decided that the demon negotiation system is from hell, and I love every aspect of it.
Yeah,
people love to complain about the demon negotiation system, but I'm like, no, it's ultimately just a abstraction of RNG. Like it's, and two, it's really thematically fitting because demons are all fucked up and weird.
Yeah,
and it's genuinely funny. I had one. I went through the whole rigmarole. I gave them some money, a couple items, and then she went, "Oh man, I better leave before my mom gets mad," and bamfed out. So I start swearing and yelling in my living room. I run into the next one of those, talk to it, and she's like, "Oh hey, thanks for all that shit. I'll join you now."
Yeah, that happened.
That's fucking hilarious.
That also happened to me. It went a little different, but he's like, "Oh shit, I meant to join you, but forgot. Sorry."
I like to think of demon negotiation in Shin Megami Tensei 5 as like making friends in elementary school on drugs. Like it's that on crack, where it's just like they say the first thing they think, and it's always the worst thing they could think every time. Hey, do you want to be friends? Do you want to help me burn the place down?
I gotta say, I would not have made it through this game only being able to save at the save points. At the fuck that no. At a point at which I'm walking down a road and a red glowy version of an enemy comes around a corner, jumps over a car, and jumps me, goes first and kills my entire party.
That happened to me.
Those red versions, I think, are new for this version. I don't think that those are in the original.
I thought there was some buff ass motherfucker who was like aura covered who just jumped over a thing once to me on my way to the fucking save point. And I was like, this, god damn it.
I don't remember them being in there, but maybe.
At this point, I believe anything you told me wasn't in the first game because that's all I hear. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
do you mean
Naho
this wasn't
Bino
in
is
there?
a psyop. He was not there originally. He played his guy. His name was Takun. Everyone loved him.
I'm wondering if they have recorded any new lines for God, what the little demon girl follows you, amateur.
Fuck. Something.
We
like
went over
that.
this some other week, but yeah, I haven't heard a single new line from her, which is really weird. Like she's not included in any voice. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, chat.
Haven't heard any new voice lines from her the entire game. So anytime that she has to talk to the new girl, it's text.
Oh.
I mean, I've heard. See, I have this big problem where if you voice act half a game, I will not remember which parts were and were not voice acted ever.
Yeah, of course.
So like there are like she'll stop and ask a question and like the new girl's in this conversation, but Amanazako just kind of started it and then never spoke again. So you can do whatever you want past that point.
Right.
Aggro, while I'm thinking about it hyper specifically, it's off topic, but I need to ask you. In Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, they have tools-generated dialogue, cutscenes, between two characters as they ride a vehicle and the vehicle goes around town. I realized I hadn't seen that in any game before. Is that somewhere in Horizon and I'm forgetting? Because I saw it happen. It's like the simplest thing. And to someone who doesn't think about the back-end tech of games ever, you would never even think anything of it. But I'm like, how did that not happen once in Horizon?
No, like there's not a lot of times where you've got another character following you around. And when you do, it's very, we got to hear, we say the thing, we get to hear, we say the thing.
Right. It's not like it starts a dialogue and you click through that and they talk back and forth while making tool-generated expressions. In fact, this prompted Bob and I to then have a conversation of, why aren't there vehicles in Horizon? Because we couldn't even think of a vehicle in Horizon? There's got to be one.
You ride stuff, but like nothing with wheels.
I guess they don't. Like,
That's so weird.
Their wheels don't seem to exist because they just harvest all the parts from these, from the robots.
Yeah, and the robots
Have
don't
we
really
even
have
seen
wheels.
Have we even seen a fucking wagon?
Yeah,
in those
see,
games?
that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, if we saw a wagon, it was parked at a shop. So we never saw a wagon that moves. Might as well be a fucking shelf.
There's some fucked up hover wagon.
What is this, Overwatch?
I know they have pulleys because they have elevators.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. This whole thread of me noticing a dual-generated cutscene that's on a vehicle made me go, wait, I've never seen that.
Horizon is so weird because like you have the Oseram who are like we're blacksmiths, we're dwarves, we're dwarves who use all these, like everybody steals parts from these robots, but nobody figured out a gun. Not even the Quinn, the really advanced ones from Forbidden West.
Yeah, the
figured
Quinn
out
should have
guns.
had firearms.
The weird thing is they do have the explosives that go off when you stab things. So they have something that's approaching
they've got
gunpowder
bombs,
and
but-
right, like they have the necessary
they have all
tech
the
brand.
parts.
Did they have I think like the only guns they have are literally just the shit they stole off the newer models of robot that the fucked up AI from the first one had.
Yeah,
pumping
yeah,
out.
like the Thunderjaw, some of the bigger ones have like missile launchers, and Stalkers have energy weapons, which I guess is like they never needed to invent guns because they had ready access to explosives and like acids and super cold liquids, and they didn't, I guess, need something to penetrate any harder than the stuff they naturally had available.
Someone in chat says, shout out to everyone for getting Burning Shores DLC came out. I didn't forget. I'm waiting for the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, I also never played it, so.
I played it. Were there wheels in it?
Fucking, I don't know.
Did the birds have wheels? Because I know that thing's whole thing
The
is
clouds have wheels inside of them.
God.
They have the ray trace clouds. They're just tiny wheels.
I mean,
inside.
maybe if your whole culture grows up in a place with burned out cars everywhere, you're like, man, those things sucked. Let's not build those.
I feel like a lot of American cities could fit that definition.
This whole tangent made me think of the Metal Gear Solid 5. It wasn't a tool generated cutscene because it's just Big Boss and Skullface sitting in a truck in the drives, and they talk, and then they stop talking, and it plays music for 30
Right, the camera's just a normal game camera as they just sit in this fucking vehicle and say some words, and then music plays, and then they ran out of words, so they didn't say any more words.
Yeah, then they sit in silence for 3 minutes.
Anyway, Agro, did you have anything else to say about Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance?
I will say, even like 30 hours into the game, having thoroughly established its setting and the kind of stuff it was doing, I was not expecting to get jumped by Finn McCool. I apologize, Shin Megami. I was not familiar with how fate you get sometimes. It's a pretty good video game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get sad at like the most exciting part of the game is getting a new demon and then going to the compendium fusion menu to see what new shit I can make. But the saddest part of the game is having to fuse new demons because I like the demons I have and I don't want any of these new demons. They don't have +5 to lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's hard to just let go.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck the game is going to try to get me to fuse this King Frost into. How could I ever say goodbye to a giant Jack Frost in what looks like a boiler for armor?
You could, maybe you'll get to fuse him into another Frost.
Ooh.
There is a gigantic, I think he's called Black Frost.
Yeah, that's what chat's saying right now. Black Frost.
Ah, okay. Because I know there's a special summon that I
Black
think
Frost
takes
is so
Jack
cool.
Frost and Baphomet and a jack-o'-lantern, and I'm like, what the fuck could that be? And that sounds exactly like what it is.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Black Frost always feels like the disc 1 atom bomb in any game he's in. He's like, you get him and you're set for a while. He fucks everybody up.
I mean, the Frosts have been that for me. The first one I got was the jack-o'-lantern. It was my first +5 medium fire attack down. I was like, holy shit. And then everything started out leveling him. And I had to take him behind a Harvest Moon shed and mail him to a bigger farm upstate where he had plenty of room to run around.
So Chris is doing Trails. Angro's doing Shin Megami Tensei 5. Because after the arcade incident of hours spent at a claw machine, which was important, Bob's never coming back. So what RPG are you going to pick up?
I mean, I'm still going through SMT5 as well.
Oh.
And I'm gonna start Daybreak eventually. I might just pass off between the two because SMT is really good, but it is a lot of stuff I've played before, so I get burnt out a little bit.
So my brother has a thing. You might call it a condition. It's just a thing. He hates mixing his food. He wants his food separate, and if they touch, he'll lose it.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
I'm like that for RPGs, and the thought of swapping two of them over and over, I'm like, no, I want to literally die playing this one for 80 hours straight.
Yeah, like RPG specifically. Like any minute now, I'm going to break and get the Talos Principle 2 DLC because I can mix those, but I can't play 2 RPGs at the same time. It's like reading 2 fantasy novels at once. Why would you do that to yourself?
They both hit the most whimsical part in the stories at the same time. You're like, no, I'm dying.
Yeah, luckily, I feel like you can't have 2 universes much more different than you do with Daybreak and SMT.
Uh-huh.
God. Some of they might be some of the horniest attack animations ever made for a video game. It's ludicrous.
In SMT?
In SMT, yeah. It's like, whoa, man. Seriously?
That's weird. That spell's called gush. That's Aggro, any other comments?
I don't think presently.
Okay, and that's all you've been playing?
Yep.
Bob, did you want to say anything about Shin Megami Tensei 5 before?
I didn't really play enough more to really say much.
Okay. Did you play anything else?
Yeah, I did play a few other things.
Let's talk about it.
Sure. I finished Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, which I've been going through slowly throughout the weeks. Man, that I whenever I think about this game, I can never remember the final boss. And having done it again, I'm like, that explains why. It's really forgettable.
I'm sorry, listeners, I need to know. Bob, what is the final boss of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2?
The whole game, the enemy, the villains are trying to awaken some ancient evil. So they do.
Yeah.
And it's some half-formed creature that barfs bugs on you.
Okay.
And he chases you up a big, like you're escaping a volcano, and he chases you out of it.
Okay.
He's just really boring and lame and doesn't even say any words. And then you beat him, and he fully resurrects anyway, even though you killed his unformed state, and you fight him on top of the volcano. And he's still just kind of lame and doesn't say anything.
Cool. Is that the one where they give you the barrel of infinite exploding arrows?
No, that's more of a thing in Ninja Gaiden 1, because the other ones you have infinite arrows anyway.
I swear to God, I remember some fight in Ninja Gaiden 2 inside some kind of mountain cave where it's like, you have to shoot me with arrows, so here's infinite arrows.
The whole fight is just shooting him with arrows for when you're chasing him out of the cave, which is really lame.
Yeah.
But you just have infinite arrows. Maybe in the original you didn't.
Okay. Am I misremembering, or is there a part where like the evil spider ninja, who is your Virgil, is like, why'd I agree to help do this? Here, take my sword so you can defeat him.
That does happen, but it's a little bit more like, dude, I just wanted to fight you, and I didn't care what I had to do that. So you just go kill him. I don't care.
Classic.
It's like for my honor, do it. And yeah, you get the dual wield his demon spider ninja sword or something. It's like his cursed blade, and
it's like a cursed blade, and the dragon sword is yours.
Yeah, so and you get to use that for all of one stage because that's at the very end of the game.
Hey, I think you get to use it again in 3. Are you gonna play Ninja Gaiden 3, Bob?
I don't think you do get to use it in 3.
You don't? I thought the whole point was like they take away the dragon sword, so you have the sword from Kasumi's brother.
Yeah, Kasumi's brother gives you a sword, and that's
and then you change that out for the spider sword later, and then later on you get the dragon sword back. But maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah, I think you just go straight from the Kasumi's brother's sword to back to the dragon sword at the end. But I don't know. The next thing I played was more of that.
We need to do streams of these because I have never seen any of them.
It would be fun to do. Sigma 2 is weirdly easier than baseline normal Ninja Gaiden 3 Riser's Edge. Which is a bizarre thing. Like they meant too hard. They made that game too easy in Sigma 2. I need to play the original version and see if that was just always kind of easier.
Well, Chad confirmed the original version didn't have infinite arrows, so that would be one way where it would be bullshit.
Okay, I checked. In Razor's Edge, you get to swap out for the Cursed Ninja Sword. There's a new level where you get it, and then you get to use it for until the end of the game.
That's cool.
Spider Ninja Sword.
Another weird thing that Sigma 2 does is they put a heavy emphasis on teasing Kasumi's going to be in the next game. Like, literally, you beat the game, and after the end credits, she's like standing off in the distance. And like,
man, that could be a really neat thing.
Yeah. Then she just wasn't in the original release of 3. She's not in it at all.
How do they fuck that up?
I don't know.
How do you fuck that up? It's Kasumi.
And then
from fucking Dead or Alive. Put her in the fucking game, you morons.
And then they did for Rage's Edge, and like it's really obvious when you play the original 3. That game is not done. I'd love to see the
not even close.
I'd love to see the
behind the scenes
for that.
I wonder if there are any like interviews that could be translated by Shmuplations, because I bet that would be illuminating.
There are some interviews already out and stuff that make it really clear that things went very wrong. I'm pretty sure the script writer I think he had his name removed from the game.
Jesus.
Because in those interviews, it was like, they came in to have me do some baseline ideas and then changed everything, and it seemed to have upset him a lot.
That sounds a lot like what the writers on Forspoken said about them doing the early versions of Forspoken before it got heavily rewritten. They're like, there's barely anything I wrote left in this. I'm like, and yet, I'm willing to bet that you wrote some of the stuff that still annoys me.
Yeah, I definitely still have that feeling, and with 3, because 3 has a bizarre tone to it where it's trying to be way too dark and edgy and grim.
Yeah.
And then you can see in parts of the story, it's like, yo, let's yank this out. We don't want Ryu to just be a psychopath.
Bob, are you telling me Ninja Gaiden 3 might be Spec Ops: The Line of Ninja Gaidens? Is that
no?
Okay,
nothing's that.
Thank God.
Luckily,
okay. Yet.
But yeah, I played a decent. I played through 2 missions in 3 Razor's Edge, which they did their best to fix the problems in that game. There's so much you can't fix though. You can't make the boss fights better. They can do a little bit. They gave them health bars because they didn't have health bars in regular 3.
Why would you ever not give a boss a health bar in an action game?
I don't know. But yeah, there's this T-Rex boss, which is just awful. It's just, the T-Rex is gonna run at you, so dodge it, and then he's gonna fall on his face, and then you go hit him a few times, and they do that repeatedly.
Is it 3 or 2 where okay, Ryu, we're gonna throw you out of this airplane with our giant turtle made of explosives, and you have to fight him?
That's 2.
I feel like 1 was a little sober, and then 2 and 3 go back more into the NES energy of here's just some fucking bullshit. That's your boss fight.
The 2 is really funny because that's the way that's set up. You destroy the enemy aircraft. You find out while exploring it that the enemy aircraft is being powered by this demon turtle. So it crashes out of it, and you fight him. And then the harder difficulty is you fight 2 of them. It's there were 2 of them running the aircraft.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, yeah, like 2 is 1 and 1 is none. You need a backup demon turtle. You can't just have 1 demon turtle on the airplane in case something goes wrong.
But yeah, it is funny how quickly they kind of diverge from what people liked in 1. 1 has that whole interconnected world, almost like Souls games and Zelda and stuff.
Yeah.
And people really like that, and they moved away from that immediately.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, Ninja Gaiden 1, one of the things that distinguishes it from its sequels is they spent a really long time making that game, something like 5 years.
Yeah.
Which back in that era is an insanely long time. There's really a chance, a world where that could have been the Resident Evil 4 of the Ninja Gaiden series, where they're they immediately did do Sigma on PS3 so that way more people could play the game, but it still feels like somehow it still wasn't capitalized upon enough, there could have been more in some way. And then my brain immediately went, well, that would require them to do a high fidelity remake in the next couple years, where it's here's our $60 Ninja Gaiden 1. And I kind of hate that I want that.
It was like that
because I know it will be just as upsetting to me as the Dead Rising thing, because they just made a AAA studio and they better market the thing literally as, so we have a AAA engine. We just need to get fidelity at this level. Please buy this remake. But it's it's frustrating.
It is really frustrating
because I just want new game.
Right? Just make something in that, that was already a reboot. That was already a retelling.
It was a reboot, yeah, but it's mechanically literally nothing like the original.
Right, and it feels like you can just do almost the same thing again by changing a few proper nouns and making a couple more characters.
But what if we got, hear me out, a really good version of one that also doesn't have that bitch ruining it?
We already have Black, and Black is playable on Xbox
Series X. Yeah, that's it though.
Yeah.
I really like the first Ninja Gaiden.
It is great.
And by that, I mean the one that came out 4th.
Yeah.
Or 5th.
You mean the one that came... Do you like original more than Black? Or do you consider them equivalent?
I don't have nuanced opinions on that. I really only played original and Sigma.
The only difference I consciously recall is fucking Itagaki going, "The flying swallow's too good. Make every enemy punish it." When they made Black.
Oh no. Okay, I might have opinions then.
And then there's the weirdness of Black also has the stuff they released digitally for the original. So in the original release, you don't have the Lunar Staff, and the Lunar Staff is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the original, if you were to play it now.
Yeah.
Right, because I could have sworn I even got that free update, because it was a free update for the original.
Update.
Yeah, I even got that just back in the day on my actual Xbox original.
Right, that was incredible at the time. That was something unlike anything else. Yeah.
They patched a whole weapon into a video game, y'all. And it's cool. We can't even get both of those to happen now in an era where it's far more normalized.
Something else that I appreciate about 3, which I feel like probably is what blurred the budget and made it made a release in the incomplete state, I bet. Every weapon has new animations, which in the original release you only had one weapon. But it is like the Dragon Sword feels way different because they redid every animation. And some of that feels like it feels heavier and it makes it feel different, which is cool. But at the same time, you lose some of the feel.
Yeah.
So it's a weird mixed bag there. I'm like, I appreciate you did this and make the game really unique feeling, but there are problems.
Yeah. I totally get that. Is 3 as rotten with fucking QTEs as I remember?
It is filled with them. The Razor's Edge does a little bit to mitigate them and make them more quick or happen quicker. And some of them I'm glad are still there because they're cool. Like, oh yeah, this is going to be where Ryu jumps out and glides down, and you get the dodge missiles as he's gliding down, and then kill a guy.
The collection that came out digitally on new consoles that have Razor's Edge or the original release?
Razor's Edge. Yeah, that's what I'm playing now.
Okay.
Yeah, because that original release is unfit for play.
For human consumption.
That original release also had an online mode, which I'm sure also wasted a ton of people's time, making it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think even back then I could ever find a game.
Oh yeah,
it was miserable. I don't know what they were thinking. That and God of War, I think, launched the same year.
Yeah,
the Ascension.
Yeah,
was having a multiplayer mode nobody cared about.
Because you need to understand, audience. People bought new games at GameStop and then traded them in. And the only way to stop that was a multiplayer mode and an online pass, which was a code that came with the game that you registered to play the game online at all.
It sucked.
I liked online multiplayer in games where it made sense, but holy shit, what a weird era that was. Because it was like Uncharted, perfect. God of War, what? Didn't Razor's Edge even have that multiplayer mode?
No, I'm pretty sure they gutted that out.
Really?
They did the Razor's Edge.
Okay.
It's nobody on Earth played this.
Well, I wonder if we're gonna go back to that as all Surface games die, and they're and they have to rapidly ratchet the corpses into something approaching single players. It's we included this really tiny multiplayer mode that is maybe sort of like how this game was going to be when it was a Surface game.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. People are pointing out Dead Space 2 and BioShock 2 also did this.
Yeah, it was.
They had fucking multiplayer mode.
I forgot about that being in BioShock 2.
Right.
Dead Space 2.
What the fuck?
Bob, not a day goes by because John Zwando was the one in chat who said Bioshock 2. Not a day goes by where I don't think of John Xanadu because someone called him that once. Somebody wrote his name as that. And I'm like, that is like a JRPG protagonist. That might be Tokyo Xanadu's main character.
Right.
For all I know. And then he said, yeah, that's been happening for like a decade plus. And I'm like, oh my God.
Of course.
This is the first time I've seen it. Ugh. Let's see. Also see people saying, even without the weird PvP multiplayer, Razor's Edge and Sigma 2 both had challenge trials. You could play co-op.
Yes, they both still have those.
Oh, okay. Is that single console co-op?
I don't believe so, and I'm not sure if it still works online because I booted up that mode in Sigma 2, and it just threw an AI in to help me, which is fine. But I really wish that they just had designed that with single player in mind.
Right.
Yeah, because Bayonetta 2 did the same thing. Like, we had this cool mode we made, but it's only for multiplayer. It's like, dude, you're on the Wii U. What are you talking about?
You and the 8 other guys on the Wii U bought me are gonna have a great time. No, we're not. I know.
Yeah, we are not. It's not happening.
Well,
but yeah, those games are still cool. I still suggest people, if you get that Soul Collection, don't be afraid to try Razor's Edge. It's interesting. It's not good, but it's interesting.
Did you play anything else?
Yeah, I played a few other things. I played Zenless Zero.
Zenless Zone Zero, got it.
I barely got past where we did in the stream, so I don't really have much of anything to say about it. I was just like, hey,
okay,
we did that. I caught up to us. I chose to play as the guy just to see, and that didn't really change anything because, of course, it didn't. I did play more of just trying out different characters, seeing all the different mechanics, see what was going on there, because you can test try a bunch of characters. And I think I unlocked the girl who has a nail gun. And that's her weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of neat.
Cool.
Other than that, I actually played Tactical Breach Wizards.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh no, Dan's leaving.
Yep, I don't want to know anything about it. Try and get me, Podlord.
It's so it plays kind of like a XCOM game, but really quickly, and all your hits are guaranteed to hit. It's a lot more about trying to just clear out a map in a single turn or as few turns as possible. Because it'll be like a single room filled with police officers or bad guys. And you can knock guys out of windows and stuff like that. And you can reverse any turn you do because or as long as you don't end the turn, because when your main character just has foresight. So it's like, oh, that was his prediction of what would happen. And all the mechanics and stuff seem really solid. Like, it feels like you can really set things up well and it feels good to control. I'm really not digging the story though. Like, it feels like both of the main characters are just trying to be funny at all times. And that's not enjoyable. They just come off as like Joss Whedon-esque characters that just quip constantly.
Yeah, I really need indie. Please, indie devs. I talk all this shit about play other games. Play other games more than like the 3 that inspire every indie game. Please watch and read more things than Joss Whedon, so every comedy indie game isn't this.
Yeah, it's like the overarching story of it doesn't even seem like it needs this much comedy at all. It's like you just watch too many Marvel movies and your brain's broken. But yeah, I really don't have much else to say about it in that. Did you said you played this a few weeks back, right, Aggro?
Yeah, I played the demo a little while ago.
Did the writing bother you?
No, I liked it. And I think if you think this comedy and Marvel comedy is the same thing, you have Marvel brain spiders.
Yeah?
I do. Like, I figured this writing might not land with you guys, but I would not call this Whedon-esque at all, no.
Yeah, it just feels like every line is about trying to build something funny off of something that doesn't have to be. It's weird. I
mean, I can't help you with that.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, that's that's comedy, as they say. It works or it don't.
Right. And who knows, maybe after more of it, maybe if they introduce more characters, because I didn't get past just having you play the first couple missions with your main wizard dude who's this farseer and like a time mage.
Yeah, the private eye.
Yeah. No, the private eye is after the time mage.
Oh, right. Yeah, the really fast one.
Yeah, so you do a few missions with her, and then you switch to her out for the private eye. I didn't get to see any other characters other than those three, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems neat. I don't know if I'd really like pick it up. Yeah.
I mean, you have so much free time this year.
I know, right? Like you got to do a lot to break this year's, like break into the games I can play this year.
That is the tragic part about there having been so many really interesting looking indie games this summer. Is that there's so much shit that's just so many more things getting slaughtered by Game of the Year.
We somehow have 5 months and 2 weeks, and it feels like no time at all.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm playing these action games and stuff because I really like those, and those are short compared to these RPGs I have to play. And whereas this is a full on tactical RPG, it's probably going to be very long. It's not something I can really commit to.
Honestly, like, it looks like a tactical RPG. It's set up like a tactical RPG. I would more call it a puzzle game. Because of the abilities you have, the precognition and the rewinding. It really feels like it's more about setting up this perfect play than it is anything I would actually call a tactical RPG.
Yeah, I get why, just from the trailers and stuff I saw, when I'd feel like that.
Yeah. I assume it's going to be more the length of a tactical RPG, though, because you do, like, after the end of the mission, you get to upgrade characters. And I think there's going to be, I think the trailer showed like 4 or 5 characters you play as. So I assume things will become more and more complex. So
yeah, you build a whole squad.
But that's all I really have to say about Tactical Breach. The Tactical Breach Wizards.
Chugging Breach. Anything else, Bob?
No, that's it, really.
Okay. I played Fist of North Star Fitness Boxing. Seems like a solid improvement over the first one. I got it for $10.
I hear there's a combo.
And there is the combo, which the original had the combo, but now it's, weird, cheap dub Kenshiro saying the combo, which is way funnier, and I'm glad that it triggers Tosha's PTSD a lot less than the lady from the first game going, ready and 1, 2, the combo. But yeah, we weren't able to do the Beyond Good and Evil stream last Sunday because I had to do a more than hour-long round trip to go get this copy of Fitness Boxing for $10, which works out kind of when you have a hybrid, but that wasn't all we did on that trip, as Bob knows.
Yeah.
We did a couple things. Bob and I ate the Costco chicken bake. I figured you would all like to see this massive fucking
It's like a super hot pocket.
This thing's like a foot long, if not longer.
Yeah, it might be longer.
In the fuck,
kind of like a Stromboli.
Like an absolutely fucking enormous thing. It was not bad, to be perfectly honest. That was like for $4. It was a pretty good deal.
Pretty good.
It was a pretty good deal.
It's filled with what was it? Chicken and Caesar sauce and
bacon and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, bacon.
Did they have other flavors?
No.
Weirdly enough, that one didn't. We also went to Buc-ee's. Agro, have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
No, but I have been around and related to a lot of people who have been inducted into that religion.
So this is Bucky, your new Lord and Savior. It's literally a super gas station with something like we should have counted how many pumps there were. I
Oh,
now
yeah, it was
genuinely
insane.
wonder. It was fucking massive.
Yeah.
Probably like 80 or 120 gas pumps. It just kept going. And inside the convenience store is the size of like a fucking Walmart. It feels like. It's not actually, but it really feels like it because a convenience store is not supposed to be that size. And in it, they have merch for their fucking mascot.
Yeah, you can...
Outside, they had the mascot walking around in a uniform, wearing the mascot thing like it was fucking Disneyland. Mm-hmm. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, it basically just proves you can just pretend, absolutely with full face, pretend you have a mascot character that everyone cares about, and it just works. You just sell merch for it, and you have a dude walk around in the suit, and everyone's hyped.
Oh, yeah. Because the thing is, you're either excited for the mascot or you're not. So what's the point of pretending it started anything ever? Just make a good design and then fucking do it, coward.
That's how mascots work. I don't know. You haven't cracked the code. That's just what you do.
Yeah, it's just never everyone else stopped.
No, it's true. Everyone got fucking chicken shit somewhere around the 90s and said, maybe we don't have these creepy mascot characters. Maybe we remove all mascots from everything
we need
forever.
More.
We do.
And this thing is hideous. Absolutely ugly.
I don't know.
Nobody would ever like it, and yet it works.
I don't know. I think this works. I think this is not nowhere. This doesn't even place for hideous mascots for me. There's so many, even currently beloved mascots on cereal have so many versions of themselves that are fucking disgusting looking. Where you're just like, that's how Count Chocula used to look. Oh my god.
It's like, what's your mascot? I don't know. It's a beaver that's been punched in the face several times. Good. Just ship it.
That's just how beavers look, man. And aside from this merchant stuff inside, because obviously you could fill this gigantic convenience store with just merch, though they tried their best. They have all of this food. It's like their fresh jerky counter, their fresh sandwich counter where they're doing like brisket sandwiches and pulled pork sandwiches and other sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches. They have the fudge counter. They had shit everywhere.
They made freshly glazed like pecans and cashews.
Yeah. They had like glazed nuts. They have candy nuts, basically. Those were really good. They had what was it? It was cashews, pecans, and one other. I can't remember what the third one was.
Maybe it was peanuts. It was something where it's like,
I think it was peanuts. Yeah, it was really good. That was way more expensive than Costco, obviously.
Yeah. They actually, the gas was pretty cheap, but then all the food inside was not at all.
I was worried that the $7.50 pulled pork sandwich I got would be distinctly gas station tier, though. So I was pretty all right with it being good at all.
Yeah, their like barbecue was legit. Their barbecue sauce is not good in my opinion, though.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I just don't like that kind of barbecue sauce.
Maybe. You do seem barbecue picky.
Yes, I much prefer the North Carolina style barbecue sauces that are vinegar based to the more syrupy ones.
If we could get some weird barbecue war going in the comments section, that'd be fucking awesome. This could be a whole new segment to get into.
They also had tacos and burritos and stuff, which I really wanted to try.
Yeah, I wanted to try that too. So yeah, the problem is we can't easily visit this place. It's like 25 minutes away.
Right.
But we have to take at least one more trip just to, get some other food items, maybe some fudge, and consider whether or not I'm getting the Bucky plush pillow. I might need that. We might need that for Boo over there to just sit on, so that way he's the correct height. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of those anecdotes. Chris, did you play anything else?
No, I literally only played Trails Through Daybreak. That is all.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. When I was hoping I could beat it.
Yeah, instead I got halfway. Maybe.
Apparently, Bob. Oh, right. We did play something else. We played Jumper on Wii.
Oh, yeah, we did play Jumper on Wii.
We played Jumper on Wii. And you know why I remember that, Bob?
Jesus.
It came out 3 hours into this week's, was it Castle Super Beast? That Wooly QA'd that game.
What?
Oh yeah, he used to work in QA. Did a bunch of horrible license shit.
That's hilarious.
I need to go see what he said about that on the podcast. Because that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that game. That game.
We played both versions now, okay? The Wii version is actually kind of more of a solid game idea than the 360.
Yeah, it's way more interesting.
It's compelling for the platform it's on. It seems kind of solid.
Uh-huh.
It's just really short.
It's really short and clearly not well thought out.
Yeah, why is that? Is it because the speed run involves rotating the camera slightly so it's through a wall and then using the jump mechanic to point the Wiimote at the end of the level and then jump there?
I mean, you can cheese it like that, but even just in regular play, it's nauseating.
It is.
That's like watching speed runs in the back half of, in like the very back end of Neon White when you get to the teleport to an enemy and kill it ability. It's like, okay, now you're gonna see that enemy that's 1 pixel all the way across the entire level. You're going to click on him and skip the entire level.
So for anyone who's ever wondering, hey, is there a time resolution mattered more than frame rate? Shit like that. That is the only time. Yeah, Jumper on 360, for anyone who doesn't know, is a really strange action game with a fixed camera like above you. This one brings in the camera more, and you have the cursor, the Wiimote, to point to where you want to jump to and do your combat and stuff. And somehow it feels more cohesive than the fucking face buttons being which direction you'll attack them from.
Yeah, now
in the
that
360.
Now the attacks are determined by which way you're holding the analog stick compared to the enemy, which is also confusing and bad. Yeah,
that game's 5 levels long.
Yeah,
these are not long levels either. We beat it in what was it, 2.5 hours, 3.5?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. 2.5 or under. It might have been under that.
I think it was just barely under 2.5 hours. Absolutely fucking hilarious.
God. And also in the 360 one, the big thing was you could do teleport kills and drop someone off somewhere to die.
Yeah, it would be FMVs that it loads up to be like over the top kill video.
They can't do that in the Wii.
No.
So they teleport you in front of a JPEG. That's like, this area is cold.
That's hidden under the environment.
Yes.
And it's like, yo, check this out. You're in a plane that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yo, check this out. A mountain, I think.
Yeah, it's like this. You're the inside of a volcano, maybe? This place is blue? I guess it's snowy. Throw them off.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty obviously a JPEG in the background. It's really good. People in chat are saying we beat the Wii version in an hour and 44 minutes.
I thought it was even shorter than 2.5 hours. That makes sense.
Oh my God.
This thing is tiny.
Yeah, I feel bad for any kid who ended up with this. It's so short. There's barely a game.
Yeah, the only reason it was even that long is there aren't checkpoints in levels ever.
Right.
And
there
boss fights will often, boss fights will often be like, yeah, I killed you in 2 hits. Which does not feel good.
No, that man deleted you. That felt awful.
Yeah.
Because it's like, imagine levels are kind of like old video games where it'd be like 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Like all the levels in the game except for the last one, I think, have 3 distinct segments. But the segments are still pretty long. So when that final boss knocks your teeth in, you have to redo that entire third.
Mm-hmm.
What fucking parent buys their kid the Jumper Wii game? Do you not understand how the Wii worked?
Right?
You owned a Wii, so your parent bought you a Wii game. What game doesn't matter? There's a reason there's so much shovelware on the Wii, and it's because they sold a lot of Wiis, and people would just buy a thing because it was a Wii game and the box was compelling?
Were you taking your kid to that movie that week? Of course you bought the game.
Yeah, your kid probably liked Star Wars, and they were like, "Oh, Hayden Christensen is." You're like, "Okay, kid, I love you, son or daughter. Let's go to the theater." And then the movie is just about how Hayden Christensen is an abusive person in a relationship and a vapid rich piece of shit. And you're like, "Oh, why did I? Oh no!" But then you forgot that, and you were like, "Well, she needs a new Wii game." For some reason, this very specific set of circumstances were fulfilled. I think that was a delightful stream. I feel bad for any kid who got it.
Oh yeah, no. This is oof.
And guess what?
What's up?
Toddler.
Ah!
Oh fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck! Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Rado, 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered, WTF, Spider-Man, Mr. I Like Spam. I spent all of last Friday to Sunday doing Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, and all I can say is cinema. DFW 3K, Muckabun, Shiny Mew, Chris C. It's this Podlord's birthday soon. Happy birthday!
I hope you actually have arms.
Cooper Tank. I told them Game Pass was the future. They were all jealous of my power.
Oh, nice.
This is good. This is really good.
Come on.
Yes! This might be the best Bleach Podlord in forever.
Oh, come on. Man, does that mean Muramasa is like Tango Gameworks? He unfrees him and instantly gets killed by him.
Yeah.
God.
Indigo Sykes. 4 rats serving up smiles. Congratulations to New York City on discovering the trash can. Pick unrelated. Shinji16 and Lexi would like to remind you that you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy.
Sleepy cat.
Lexi's so cute. A raccoon giving you a flower. Aww. That is definitely another way to beat Gen.
What?
It's a good thing I brought this gun.
I was thinking about how you'd have to actually work with the interface, but it'd be way funnier if it was just modded and be like, yeah, you shot that. It's broken
Yeah,
now.
the fucking final cutscene's just, no, wait!
Don't shoot the book!
Now, Daniel, I'd like you to tell me what you see in this image. That was last week. I'm not showing that image again. That was upsetting. Don't gaslight me. Sarlene. The 0th episode of the new anime did its job because Timothy Fister is getting Kaniku pilled.
No, did that actually come out?
It's real. The first episode, which is just like the characters sparring in the shitty little shack the main character lives in, and telling an unbelievably fast and truncated version of the entire previous.
Oh my god!
Bearded Joe. Krunglespum. Pleochrome. As of this week, Princess Maker 2 Remake is out. It is one of the 3 games that formed the foundation of my love of gaming. Please,
Yep.
It's not out on PlayStation yet because they're cocks.
I know. Yeah. They're like, you can make a game about royalty, but please, no weird incest.
I think that was already like, it's not even because of that. There was some other fucking problem because that guy at Sony that fucks everything up is still not gone.
Oh, that's one of the 5 things they removed. I actually like Princess Maker. It's really cool. I've watched a couple different people stream it. That was one of the things where it's like, you can no longer marry your daughter, the princess. And I'm like, oh, we're just pretending that didn't happen?
We're pretending, but that wasn't removed anywhere else? Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Sony.
Also,
You're
there's
definitely doing something.
There's also other things that are way more dumb than that, weirdly enough. Anyways, Swallow Wudo!
Oh my god! He's ready!
He's bulging with what could be muscle.
Yes!
Where are the parts where Maximus is tasked to kill Jesus Christ working at the Pentagon in Gladiator 2, you cowards? Is this because of the New York accent?
I think there was some insane initial plans for Gladiator 2. I might be misremembering.
Okay. I know people have been making fun of the New York accent all week, and then other people had meltdowns where they were like, if he sounded British, he wouldn't say anything, even though that's not accurate either. It's been a fun week. Dan and Bob going after a single box in the arcade of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Dan and Bob.
Yeah.
You're included.
I guess I was somehow part of that.
Bob's face really shows an expression of I'm along for this ride and enjoying it. How are we doing tonight, baseball fans?
Yeah.
I think it's funny that I've heard multiple anecdotes of like, my parents just thought it was some cartoon character from a children's show.
Oh, yeah, I know. That was so fucking funny.
That makes
I have
sense.
been reveling in all of the "we used to be a real country" reactions to this.
Medusa. I'm just taking in the weapon?
Yeah, I don't even
Spike
feel
on a
like
rope?
that's what she has normally. I thought she just had like a sice on a chain or something. I don't know.
No, yeah, she had a weird spike thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a weird spiked flail.
Something worse than a barrel tender be upon ye.
Another one of these?
It's
I think that's the same one.
It's like the neck should never be the most horrifying part of your creature design.
Dr. Aggro.
Something about extending.
POV. Your game just launched day 1 on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And Romram. Thank you very much to our Podlord.
Thanks,
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlords. And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. In addition to possibly becoming a Podlord for as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits such as early access to Pokemon Go to the Movies and Chugging Bleach, our 2 monthly anime review podcasts, which will both be ending very soon. Pokemon sooner, obviously.
Yeah,
you get early access on finding out things such as how dead Ash is. You also get many other benefits such as extended content from other shows we do, which will become more common as these anime podcasts end. A patron-funded show 1 a month, where either a private show where we watch a good thing or a public show where we watch a bad thing, and patrons get a commentary track for the bad thing that you don't want to watch, like fucking the AVGN movie. God, James Rolfe, why did you? I get you had to because of Kickstarter, but holy shit. You also get an entire movie called Isolation 119, a full-length feature film about a man going to Thailand to get a tax write-off on his vacation to Thailand.
he had to.
Delightful film. Several commentary tracks about that. For that also, like at 3 at least. Patreon.com/GBpodcast. If you don't have any money, it always helps immensely to tell your friends, spread the word, rate us on Thursdays, rate us on your podcasting app of choice, and leave a comment and subscribe on YouTube right now. Patreon.com/GBpodcast. Thank you. Hey, you know what's fucking bullshit?
What's bullshit?
The movie adaptation of the Chainsaw Man author's one-shot Look Back cannot be released theatrically in the United States because it's not long enough.
What?
Hmm.
What?
Can't they
Like, it doesn't cross the
put
standard.
Pokemon short in front of it or something?
Yeah, right. Just throw it in there with something
What
else.
about
You got
Angela-
Ninja Scroll coming this year. Just put it in there with that.
Angela Anaconda at the beginning.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I hate you, Aggro. Just so we're clear, I feel like I should be very upfront about this.
Yeah, what you hate is taste, my friend.
Well, it's time for a taste of news. Should we just? Should we? Weird enough, I do the first pass edit of Aggro's audio. That doesn't bug me as actual Aggro mouth sounds. For some reason, that sounded almost insect-like. didn't send up any misophonia flags at all.
I feel like I should inform you that I have turned into a giant insect as a commentary on modern society.
I was joking, Aggro. That's what Aggro goes. I too was joking.
Was joking.
We always have a habit of pushing it to the very end. I would like for once to do the exact opposite.
Oh, yeah? You just want to talk about it up front?
Talk about Game Pass.
My God.
Chris, do you want to lead us off?
Okay, so Game Pass's price is going up. We have details. Game Pass Core, that is just online play and the static library of 25 free games, which they change one or two occasionally, but it's mostly the same 25. That is going up to $75 a year. Presumably more if, obviously a lot more if you pay it monthly or quarterly. Worth noting, this still isn't as much as PS Plus Basic.
Yeah, because
Jim
that's
Ryan is a
80,
fucking
right?
criminal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't think you can actually buy it yearly as a subscription. I think you have to buy cards for that. Game Pass Core. Like, I don't think you can go into this, set up a recurring billing for it being every year. That's at least how it was earlier this year. So maybe they can fix it with this. I doubt it. PC Game Pass is increasing to $12 a month. Console Game Pass, which was it was Game Pass for console. It did not include the EA or Ubisoft bullshit and had no online play. That's being discontinued.
Yeah.
You can keep it as long as you're subbed to it, you will keep it. But if you ever unsub to it, you cannot get it back.
That's
Crazy.
insane.
That's like how the humble bundle choice got updated to, where it's like if you keep your old sub, you'll still get every game. But if you ever change it or close it, you never get that back. You get back to the one where you can't get every game unless you pay a shitload of money.
So that way it's your fault, and they didn't actually take anything from you.
Yeah. You're even more locked in. Cool.
It is being replaced with Xbox Game Pass Standard. Hey, dumbass. Core and Standard are fucking pseudonyms. They mean the same thing. Not pseudonyms.
Synonyms.
Synonyms. They mean the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
How did you look at Sony's dog shit naming and be like, we'll also do it? That will be $15 a month. It comes with online play, so it has that over Game Pass Core. No day one games.
That's not Game Pass then.
$15 a month. No.
What this says to me is there must have been a significantly large amount of people who were subbing to Game Pass console for 1 month whenever a new game came out.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Or people who were just subbed to that and not even online. And they need all of this is just, we need more. All of this is a concession that the audience, they're never growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't raise prices and expect to see a service grow. Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, this is just the beginning of the squeeze as it dies.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people I've seen have the take of, oh, well, it's not going to be their focus anymore. They're moving to something else. Like, no, this is just, they have nothing else, guys.
What's the
They're
something
basically
else?
dead.
Cuts to a graveyard.
Right. Like there is no greater plan. It's just, it's over.
I really cannot stand the horrifically American behavior of assuming that people in positions of power or people with money have a plan. Shit like that is how the bout arc happens. Because you just buy that there's a plan going on, and there isn't. It has also been frustrating, yet again, being confronted with, well, Dan, yeah, you guys said it wouldn't work, but that was obvious. No, it wasn't, because countless editorials from countless websites and also podcasts, the entire industry as it's being covered, said, no, it's fine, actually. It'll work.
Yeah, this is obviously the future. This is what everything has to go to.
There is literally, it was only been this year that I heard a game journalist speak in a tone that legitimized any developer they talked to. Because they talked to the developers even, who explained that they got completely fucked by Game Pass when it came to the amount of money they got, when it came to they can't sell on that platform or people just telling them to come to Game Pass. They only this year started treating that like it was legitimate. Before then, they were like, oh, it's just salty devs. We can't trust them.
Like I said on Twitter, and we'll restate now. They don't have compelling first-party content.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they barely have first-party content because their management of projects is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
They have gaping holes in their third-party content that no other library platform has, not even the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a price advantage on anything.
No, for some reason they don't. They could. There's no reason an Xbox controller should cost anywhere near the same realm as a DualSense. Like, it should be going for $40 at most.
Yeah.
They don't have superior performance.
Yeah, even Digital Foundry comes out and says that now.
Yeah, nowadays they finally admit, like, yeah, it's just everything basically runs better on PS5. And I'm like, yeah, why'd this take 4 years to say out loud? It doesn't take 4 years to figure that out.
So many things are worse or cost more on Xbox for no reason. Like they went with proprietary storage format. So
Yes.
storage just costs more.
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
And for a console where you're not actually supposed to have anything but download games.
2 consoles.
Yeah.
Where you're supposed to have nothing but downloaded games.
Like they're releasing a white Series X with more storage that costs $600. I don't understand who the fuck that. Like, who is the audience? Like I said, who's the audience for an Xbox now? It would have to be somebody who has a lot of money and an interest in games, but literally does not give a shit about what games they play. This theoretical consumer that is willing to drop 300 to 350 because you can't buy the cheaper model of the Series S anymore. 350 to 500 on a console and then pay $240 a year.
Is that for the Ultimate or for the standard?
That's for Game Pass Ultimate.
Okay. Yeah, which we didn't actually say that part yet.
Oh yeah,
Game Pass Ultimate is $20 a month. Now that's a $3 price hike.
Fucking dollars a month. So if you want to do the 1 month spike so you can play a game on day one, you're spending a third the cost of the game.
Yeah, you could just buy the game and own it at that point.
At some point, it just makes more financial sense to buy the fucking game and sell it or trade it in instead of fucking getting Game Pass, which is insane.
And for the record, PC Game Pass still gets day one games. It's just console owners that get fucked. What the fuck's their problem?
Yeah,
They're desperate for PC.
Right, I saw analysts even saying like, yeah, they obviously don't want to raise the price of that because they hope anyone ever gets on it because currently no one is.
Yeah. It's still a technical nightmare to do all the games on that. It's still an uncompelling proposition.
Yeah, it still has its own launcher and it
took
sucks.
me fucking 20 minutes to figure out how to download Battletoads, and then I wish I hadn't figured it out, considering I had to play Battletoads after that.
Yeah.
Look, I need people to understand this. Raising the price inherently means people will be less likely to get on the platform. Like they'll be less likely to pick up a sub. Raising prices limits your customer base always. That's how business works.
Mm-hmm.
They're also removing benefits and transparently trying to get people upsold to more expensive tiers.
To put this in terms that people who have a lot of pre-established notions in their head, don't help them assess things as they are. To frame it in a way you would much more easily be able to process. This is the equivalent of, yo, bro, 3 years into the Wii U, they raised the price of online to $80 a year. Like, the Series X is Wii U tier sales.
Mm-hmm.
The difference here is at least the Wii U had compelling software. Going forward, the Xbox software is going everywhere, which is another element of this that I realized, like, I just need to say on this fucking podcast. Part of what frustrates me about the Gears of War E-Day trailer is the amount of people who do not look at that and realize that will take so long, that the mythical PC Xbox hybrid will be out before that game is, if it comes out. And the best place to play it will either be that or a PS5 Pro. It will not be any normal Xbox that's on the market right now.
Oh yeah, this, I forgot to put this in news, but that reminded me of it. According to pretty credible rumors, specifically an Xbox diehard leaker crying in his car as he told people this, Indiana Jones and Starfield PS5 will both be ready for the Pro. So it sounds like Indiana Jones exclusivity window will be basically nothing, and Starfield PS5 will be happening basically on top of that expansion.
Yeah,
yeah,
this
that's
isn't
what the rumors
surprising at all.
were for Starfield already.
Yeah, this isn't surprising in the least.
Like it, I know we keep saying it's over, but like they keep making moves. Like there is over. We're reaching Microsoft themselves hitting the acceptance stage. Like where they can't even pretend they're still going to be running Xbox as a platform 3 years from now.
I think the part that drives me so insane is just the journalist handling of this. I don't see nearly enough journalists pointing out for 7 years now how bad they've been running Xbox because they like Phil so much.
Right. Yeah, they're all under his spell.
He has a territory.
He does.
Well, he talks to them. Jim Ryan didn't talk to them. Doug Bowser doesn't fucking talk to them. You know, like they got like Phil Spencer realized that if he treats them as like his friends and will go on to their podcasts and shit, he gets infinite good publicity. But now even most of them seem to have just been like, this guy keeps fucking shutting down. By the way, they're doing stealth layoffs right now. Like Microsoft and Xbox are getting hit with waves of unannounced layoffs. Like, we're not doing entire studios, we're just cutting people.
Yeah, it's insane. Aggravating, upsetting. When it comes to this Game Pass price hike, this actually feels like this really, again, is the breaking point. Like, yet again, they found a new way. It's never been more over. Like,
yeah, I mean, like I'm not going to renew PS Plus when mine runs up when it's $80. Who's going to go for this $75 for Game Pass Core, which doesn't even have
people who are stuck on people who are stuck on Xbox.
Yeah,
like that's what all this is now. It is Phil Spencer holding a gun to the head of all remaining Xbox fanboys and being like, "Keep giving us more money, or you have to go to PlayStation."
Yeah,
like that's what it is now. And Phil, you ain't going to win that argument. You're not going to win it now. You're especially not going to win it when the Switch 2's out.
Right.
Yeah, it feels like they're doing a really good job of alienating their own audience hard enough where I think a lot of people who are still with Xbox will just become PC people. Like I feel like people who still strongly associate with the Xbox brand will become PC/Steam Deck people before they hop to anything else. Because I think anyone who's across multiple of these platforms, like as of right now, already doesn't have a strong attachment to that, already wouldn't pay for that. It's a lot. How do I put this? They did a really good job of brainwashing journalists through a lot of really well-handled media, which is so funny because every time you hear about the failings of Xbox over the last 11 years, it's always a messaging problem. It's never they really fucked up and alienated their fan base and made a sweeping decision that was flat out bad. It's a messaging problem.
Yeah. No matter how bad what they did was,
It's a messaging problem.
isn't Netflix like $20 a month?
Fuck.
Yeah, I
I'm
actually don't
trying
know.
to look it up.
Premium is $23 a month.
Okay, and then standard is like $15.50. All right.
But
It's-
the standard, standard is like $13.50, and then premium is like $22. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you have to pay $8 a month an addition for each additional like person outside the household now, because they
Jesus.
cracked down on that. And sadly, people were too cucked, and Netflix posted record revenue after cracking down on password sharing. Learn to pirate.
It's an important life skill. It's getting ridiculous out here.
Yeah.
It feels completely absurd. Microsoft is clearly just fading away. In fact, there's that next thing you didn't even talk about yet, Chris.
Oh yeah, this is another rumor that Microsoft will cease marketing Xbox entirely in Europe, the Middle East, and African territories. They will only spend marketing money on Game Pass and accessories. Like, it's seemingly just like, we're not selling any more consoles in this region. It's over.
Yeah. Like every time we have one of these news stories, I'm going to say it again until I stop getting replies telling me that it's not true. You are witnessing platform death.
Yeah.
It is going away.
Yeah,
I'm
this,
sorry,
like-
sometimes the world changes.
Sega, like, they're confused because with Sega it was so instant because they ran out of money.
Right.
Uh-huh.
With Microsoft, it's going to be the executive suite being like, no, you need to make more. No, cut until it makes sense. And that's going to involve Game Pass going away. It's going to involve the Xbox platform going away. It's going to end with them just being a game publisher. And if Game Pass still exists, it will be as a streaming service that basically nobody uses.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like,
not,
and
it might
look-
have the PC version that no one
I
uses.
don't know. Yeah, maybe they might have that as like a trick.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's
Like, I mean, they get to cancel Game Pass without ever actually shutting it down because they're not shipping another Xbox. So, and they're not selling any more Xboxes. So they won't lose any more money because no human being is ever getting into Xbox ever again. So the audience of people who can even potentially sub to Game Pass will only decrease from here.
I think another layer of this, the rumors were that weird PC Xbox hybrid that's supposed to come next in like 2 years is being made by the Surface team. There's a really good chance, not a definitive chance. I think they might, by momentum, follow through, that they just cancel the project because the Xbox brand's fucking worthless by then.
Well, yeah, that, like, again, they would have to put in the hardware order
Sometime in the next about year.
Yeah.
yeah, sometime by before the midpoint of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like by then, maybe earlier if it involves custom shit, but I don't think it will. It's Xbox. Like, and they're not gonna. Like, they're not. What are they gonna look at the no fucking sales the series has, the no game sales, the no Game Pass growth, the no hardware sales, and be like, let's go another round? Fucking every time they do something like this Game Pass shit, retailers have to take down the cards. Retailers fucking hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna get to the point where retailers stop carrying Xbox product. That's
Oh, yeah.
that
That's
feels
already happening
like
in
the
Europe.
next step.
That's already
Yeah, that's
happening
already
in Europe.
happening in Europe. I feel like within the next 9 months, Walmart is gonna go, no, we're done with you.
Right?
Yeah, we literally, over the course of a generation and a half, saw them be like, PlayStation has a fifth the representation that Xbox did in stores, maybe a little bit more, like a third. Walmart specifically, to the exact opposite and worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels very scant now. It's intense. Just
Like,
to be
I
clear,
feel-
if they
every
do,
time I go to
real quick, let me get this out. If they do get that hardware out, it won't matter either way.
Oh yeah,
It'll
that's
just
moving the
be
needle.
a notional thing they did. It won't physically matter. It won't market-wise matter. Nothing will fucking matter. None of this matters. It changes nothing.
and no store will carry it. Like, people keep nobody understands this. If you have a digital only thing, stores hate you.
Yeah.
Stores despise you, and the only way, like, this is part of the reason they lost so much money on the Series S. It wasn't because they're wildly, like, it's a little bit because they're wildly incompetent on the hardware end, but part of it was stores going, fuck you, it's a digital box, give us a bigger cut or we won't carry it. Because why would we? We'll never sell anything for it.
Yeah. Also worth noting, the somewhat reduced presence of video games in stores like Walmart is because the digital marketplaces exist for these consoles.
Yeah.
If they didn't exist, they would have more representation there. So Xbox is going further and further in this hole of just not accepting physicals.
Every time I go to Target, I want to take a picture of it because, like, they have PlayStation and Xbox stuff gets one aisle together. Nintendo gets a whole aisle to themselves. For the record. But PlayStation side, full of games. Every section has a game in it. Xbox side, there's like 3 games, and this and everything else is just empty.
Yeah, we went to Best Buy not long ago. It was the same situation of, like, there's the Xbox shelf that's completely empty except for Avatar.
And then we were like, holy shit, Avatar's still $70.
Yeah.
It's been fucking
And no
7
wonder
months.
it's still on that shelf.
Yeah, right? Doing some basic maths here one moment.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're starting to move away from and it was because of COVID, I assume, the COVID era pricing strat of never lower the price permanently. You can put it on sale for the price it should be sometimes, and then hopefully people with no patience whatsoever will buy it at $70 6 months after it came out. But I'm glad we're getting to the end of that, and they're like, we should price drop our things so people buy them.
It's just fucking, how do I put this? It's so deeply frustrating that the Sega thing, the Sega Saturn to the death of the Dreamcast was like 4 years in America or something. It was so much faster than this, but it was so definitive. And the moment it happened, you're like, well, that makes sense. I witnessed the part where Sega went from being the coolest fucking thing to a sort of like, maybe they'll make it back with the Dreamcast. Like when you experienced that, when you heard the news, it kind of worked in your brain. Xbox has been dying for 11 years.
Right. They stopped being the coolest thing.
They're almost 3 times that length of duration.
Yeah, because it hasn't been the coolest thing since mid 360.
Right. Yeah. No one was like, oh, the Kinect era. Ooh,
No,
so cool.
That was when it was like, oh, it's over. And then it's become more and more over for 11 years.
But yeah,
this is watching, like, money. Having enough money lets you basically turn gravity off and make something that has no business fly. But that doesn't last forever.
Yeah, now with interest
Money being
rates
real.
and stuff being real.
Yeah, in fact, even if the interest rates had stayed low and Microsoft had been able to borrow all that money they bought Activision with, this still might not be happening. But they had to use real money because they couldn't fucking borrow it. Like, what, they're gonna owe $3 billion of interest a year on that? Like, they'd never dig themselves out of that hole. That's the kind of thing that could potentially kill Microsoft.
right. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something, man?
Because interest fucking compounds, remember? It fucking compounds.
So
but now it's like, yeah, make our fucking $80 billion back, Phil. Strip the fucking walls for the copper wire if you gotta. Squeeze the people left for as much as you can and for as long as you can. It doesn't matter if they go away. We have no intention of Xbox lasting past another 2 years.
I feel like we covered it last week, but maybe we didn't. That Amazon Fire thing has Xbox Game Pass support, so you can just play Xbox Game Pass streams on your hey, remember how Xbox leaked the code name and teased the stick to do the streaming in the background of Phil's stream and stuff?
Hey,
Hey, remember how Phil said that there would be emulation that they wanted to do, so you could stick any 360 or Xbox or any 360 or Xbox original disc in and it would play it?
Phil says a lot of things.
Hey, I wonder how that new portable is going to work out.
It's gonna work out great. And also, they're not gonna do anything that's slimy and makes you makes you have to upgrade to a certain pass. Maybe pay them more to get your day one Game Pass games. Sure, they won't do that.
Yeah, they even as it's this year, even Sarah Bond was like, we're not raising the price of Game Pass because the Activision acquisition. And then of course this happens. So like, who trusts them at all?
Right.
Man, remember when journalists were saying Microsoft would reduce the price of Activision games back to $60 because they don't do $70 games?
I remember a lot of stuff. Hey, you remember on Big Thing to Mention Game of the Year Podstravaganza 2023 edition in this July when it came out, or this January when it came out, and we were saying thing we don't want to talk about on Big Thing to Mention, and it was the price of Game Pass going up or Call of Duty not being on Game Pass or the extra Call of Duty tier. They basically did all three versions.
They did all
this
of
is
them.
close enough.
This
is close enough.
They made the day one games their own tier.
Yeah.
You can't get the old tier anymore. It basically doesn't exist the moment you try to come on as a new consumer.
And they don't even say how far after those games are. Like, that's the most, like, what do you guys...
So, like, everyone else who did this had a time.
Right? It's
Like, is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it a
never?
year?
never?
I don't think it'll be never.
I think we're in a fucking death spiral. I think they might think that'll work.
Yeah, you don't get day one games. You don't get more games, is what we're saying.
Like, again, like, this really is the end. This is a concession. It's not growing. It's a concession that they just want to squeeze you. Game Pass, like them, and the thing we had last week with them being like, we're going to drip feed Activision games onto this instead of giving you all them all at once. There's no more, guys. Like, they're not going to go do big Game Pass deals anymore. We have rumors that, like, they totally fucked over smoothing things over with Square Enix with the Final Fantasy 14 shit. I'm genuinely stunned that Dragon Quest 3 is still shipping on Xbox. I'm willing to bet that is the last thing that ever will from Square Enix.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
I've heard rumors that, like, Sega isn't happy with any of the deals they made with them.
That makes sense. I doubt that did them any favors.
Like, there's not going to... Game Pass editions will only get more pathetic from here. Like, it will be dirt old games, and they're not even getting big indies anymore. So it'll be indies that took the pittance. It'll be indies that took the scraps.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows how long it'll even be before they go, that's not worth porting my game to Xbox for.
Yeah.
Man. Now I'm remembering those rumors that were going around, I think a year ago, about them making Xbox Live Gold cheaper or free.
Yeah. And
that was 2020. That was a thing. That we were gonna hear, like, they're really invested in killing Sony this time. They're gonna just make online play free. And and what actually happened was they attempted to double the price of Xbox Live, and everybody shouted them down.
Mm-hmm.
The stealth raised the price. They intended to get rid of yearly purchases and yearly cards and force people to do it quarterly, which functionally doubled the price.
Yep.
And they still sort of did that. They still sort of did that because you can't subscribe annually on console. I'm pretty sure you have to buy their yearly cards.
And reminder, Xbox Live, now Game Pass Core.
Is that right anymore?
It's
I don't know. I saw 3 different versions of the breakdown hit Twitter in one day because everybody kept getting it wrong and revising it.
Yeah, I think now they have someone released the Ubisoft chart where it's like all the check boxes for what you get.
Game Pass Core is a service that's 99% profit margins, and they still want to raise the price because they think they can get away with it. Hey, you know the number one way to battle this sort of absolute horseshit? Just fucking stop using your Xbox. Trade it in. Never use their services again. Because even though they're too stubborn to fix their practices, they'll probably just stop fucking people over at some point and stop making an Xbox and stop doing these shitty deals. Like, I can understand not wanting to get out of console gaming entirely. I really can. But at a certain fucking point, you have to look at the specific circumstances, the specific things that are happening with Xbox and say, you have to be anywhere but here.
Yeah, no, it's really obviously a Titanic. Like, you've hit the iceberg. It's going down.
It's, yeah, because the Sony situation isn't better, like, not much better, but it isn't a complete disaster.
Someone pointed out the price, like, isn't the Ultimate Xbox Live Ultimate now, sorry, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, isn't that now way more than the highest tier of PlayStation?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's $240 a year, right?
Wow.
$20 a month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yup.
Yeah, I think God, I think it's God, how much is it? Fuck. I think it's like 180 a year for the highest tier of
Chat saying 160, which makes sense. It is double the lowest price. And I paid it, unfortunately, because it...
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, at least I get to play hype video games like Ghost Hunter, the PS2 game that just came out on PS4 and 5. Yippee!
Yippee.
Hey, at least that's funny.
And like Microsoft isn't like, again, they had to change the name of Xbox Live to Xbox Game Pass Core because there was so little growth they needed to lie.
Yeah, obviously. If anyone doesn't see that, they're blind.
Like, all this is scaring people into not canceling their Xbox Game Pass console subscription.
Which is funny because that's the first thing I thought of.
Hopefully scaring them, people who only get it a month at a time, to get it and keep it, maybe. Or trying to upsell people who already have it to Ultimate, like, well, I'll forget eventually, I might as well just get Ultimate. Or just to squeeze that little bit more out of people, making them take a bath on these day one games. So it's, thank God we get $20 a month for that AAA game we made instead of 12.
Like, well, they're still here. Start the machine.
In chat, somebody saying, remembering how Michael Pachter said Game Pass would hit 200 million subs by the end of the decade. Here's the funny thing about Michael Pachter. You could make anything up and I would believe you that he said it.
He did say that. Here's the thing. And this will help people. There's a certain genre of analysts that are there to say what CEOs want to hear. Their job is not to provide analysis, not to give any information anybody can make decisions from, but to make sure executives do not feel sad.
Yep.
And that is Michael Pachter's job. He has never been right about anything, but it doesn't matter because being right isn't his job. When Satya Nadella wakes up and sees him say Microsoft will make $1,100 billion this year, he smiles and can ignore reality.
Anyway, we need to move on. We have other news to talk about. Does anyone want to get any last points out?
I wanted to tie in something I apparently forgot to throw in the news document.
Sure, yeah.
When we keep frustratedly crying, it's not that hard, just pay attention. This is a long process you could watch happen. It's because that's the case. Like, we didn't just hard read this and happen to get it right. We're wrong sometimes. Case in point, Matt Piscatella, the guy who works for Circana, was breaking down some numbers, and apparently the PlayStation Portal, they're still selling the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
It was the best-selling accessory in dollar sales for both May and 2024 year to date.
I mean, it's really expensive, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that does help it in
they're
that.
still moving enough units.
Right. I mean, I knew enough people who literally want the thing to play in the living room when their wife is using the TV, or the thing to use in their bedroom when they want to game in bed, that every time the Portal kept coming up, I'm like, that is just what Steam Deck users use it for. Like, the Steam Deck is basically as viable, roughly, as that thing is. So it doesn't surprise me that it succeeded somewhat.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of the the classic Matt Piscatella move of giving you data that doesn't actually entirely tell you what he is trying to convey.
I don't
It's
think he
dollar
tries
signs.
to convey.
I don't know. There was that thing a couple months ago where he tried to argue consoles were dying because dollar sales of consoles are lower than they were in 2008, and I'm like, that's a completely fucking irrelevant number.
Oh yeah, no, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
that's,
stupid.
This is definitely a construction of the data.
Yeah, it is a data point created from other data points, so there is a message in its existence being there. But unlike that one, I feel like there's less a weird, like, how do you put this? Grand statement here, and more of a, hey, look at this. You know?
Yeah, it was the portal we've heard about. Hey, it is actually
keeps selling out.
Yeah, so it's working.
Yeah, no, it's for someone and good for them. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole time, like, if it worked at the fucking gym, I might own one. But, like, I don't know that anyone, one.
Yeah, I don't think your gym's going to have that
I
good
haven't
Wi-Fi.
tested my gym's Wi-Fi integrity in the
It's
least.
bad.
I'm sure it's fucking
Hey,
dog
I mean,
shit.
you've got a bunch of JRPGs to play.
I know, that's why I keep thinking this thought.
That's what
Look,
it's good
here's-
for.
Look, Dan, everybody knows you. You're gonna load something up on the PS Portal. It's gonna look like shit, and it's gonna have a bunch of latency, and you're not gonna ever want to look at it again.
Well, this is okay, because I'll be playing Unicorn Overlord, which
Yeah, nobody
compresses
wants that
well
game to
'cause
look
it's
nice.
2D, and it'll be on a smaller screen. Look, I'm on the treadmill.
No.
I'm just happy to have a distraction.
It'll look better on the Switch, though.
Nobody wants an entirely menu-driven game. Nobody wants menus to feel good to navigate.
No, 30 frames per second and 20 actually is fine.
Yeah.
Because it's turn-based. It's fine. Dan, don't you own Unicorn Overlord on Switch? No, I don't. I own the fancy PS5 version. I haven't even opened the box. But yeah, I always thought it was for someone, and I knew they existed because Steam Deck fans literally self-describe nonstop as being this exact segment.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think there would be this many people who owned a PS5 who also got it. There was also that stat that came out of Sony. It was like, this massive percentage of PlayStation Portal owners used remote play for the first time ever. And I'm like, well, yeah, you didn't make a portable for me to.
Yeah.
Most people don't think about how you can remote play on a phone. Like, most people do not think about that at all.
Mm-mm.
Even I still do not think about that at all.
Right.
Anyway.
Like the last time I used remote play before doing it, like before Big Think, I did it on a Vita.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Anyway. Any other comments on the Microsoft news?
No.
Normally I would say something along the lines of, I feel really bad for people who are Xbox fans at this point, but it's like, no, it's already happened.
Yeah, you need to move on.
No, I think most of them did. I know a decent chunk of Xbox fans who just went, yeah, it's over.
God, I saw Jez Corden being upset. It was like, I put you get to keep Game Pass standard if you already subscribed in the title, and no one seems to notice. It's like, dude, that's not what's important. You're insane.
Jez Corden, isn't that the guy who used to run the Microsoft fan site? Isn't that the case? Or was that the other one?
I don't know.
I
I was like,
remember
isn't he still just a fanboy blatantly?
Yeah, I think Jez was the one who came from literally writing for a Microsoft to soap opera sort of like blogs.
I mean, he's still doing that. Is that Windows Central?
Yeah. But it may have been Tom Warren. I can't remember which. They're both kind of just the same person in my head, except for Tom Warren has been getting a lot more cred from me in the last year. Jez Corden has been falling out more and more every day. As though that was even possible. Anyway, let's move the fuck on. Chris, do your last bullet of news.
Okay, Arrow the Acrobat is coming to every platform that isn't PC on August 2nd with one of those. We have rewind and save states and yada yada things. It's like your Arrow the Acrobat.
Is
What
this
are you doing?
Is this limited run again or something else?
No.
Weird.
This is a Sunsoft thing, so it's part of their initiative.
Oh god. Are we getting Area of the Acrobat 2?
This is Ratalaika Games and Shinyuden. It looks like they have done various other little ports of stuff like this over the years, so I guess it is the newest one of those.
All right. Cool, I guess. I don't think I ever actually... We probably played it on some retro roulette or something.
And you were like, oh my god, this is terrible.
Yeah.
It is a lot like an Amiga game. It's not as bad, but it like has the energy.
Simultaneously, but really right now, like literally right now, Nintendo announced 3 Starfy games.
Ooh.
Densetsu no Starfy 1 through 3 are coming to Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion.
Through their Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, these are the Game Boy Advance ones. People are saying that it doesn't look translated from the trailer.
Well,
it has
probably
Japanese
not,
text. Yeah.
They should. There's not that much text in those games. Just suck it up, guys.
No, we can't afford even one programmer.
We can't afford to have somebody just replace the 8 sentences in this game.
Impossible.
Translators are so expensive. Let's get AI to do it and ruin it. Then they'll clap.
Weird. I don't remember Starfy saying a slur in the original version. All right. I guess I just didn't notice. Okay. Well, that's it for Chris News. The Xbox stuff has taken the wind out of me.
Yeah. That's understandable, man.
Let's go to Bob.
Sure. So part of the games coming out this month for PlayStation Plus, whatever that's called. We're getting the PSP game.
Premium?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Essentials.
It's one of the classics.
Premium. And,
Yeah, you've been able to buy all these so far, except for I think one specific one you could not for some reason.
I think even that one ultimately went on sale much later, like a year later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like
that was Namco's fault, I think.
If Ghost Hunter is out, this should be out too. This is Jeanne d'Arc.
Did you know Ghost Hunter was Namco?
Yeah, I saw that when you were showing me that.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But
yeah, Jeanne d'Arc.
Jeanne d'Arc. This is the first time it's been off of the PSP ever. This is the first time you can buy this level 5 tactical RPG.
It's also the first time it's been available in Europe ever.
Oh,
really?
Man.
Huh. Yeah, because then they made a post like, it's also available in Europe for the first time. We didn't release it before because we thought the English would be mad.
This game was really good. At least from what I remember. I played it at launch, so my opinion's not new. But that was a really solid tactics RPG that I was surprised we didn't see more of. So I'm really excited they're doing this. I'm astonished that it never got another release. Level 5 did just not properly take care of their own IPs.
Yep. That's what they do.
Yeah. Oh my god. I can't believe I have to say this.
There was one other game coming out with that.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Summoner PS2.
Yep.
Yes, another PS2 launch title, I believe.
Yeah. It's one of the few I haven't played. I was too scared. I was like, I don't know.
When you gonna do a long play of that, Dan? You fucking did fucking Orphan.
Yeah, we did Orphan, the Bouncer. We've done Eternal Ring, Sky Odyssey, and Evergrace.
Yeah, Evergrace, of course.
We're rounding them all up. The only thing left is like doing a Dynasty Warriors 2 complete playthrough.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I guess we'd have to play with each. It's not all the offers, but at least one officer from
each faction. Yeah.
Yeah, you played Armored Core 2. That was a launch title for PS2.
We played the Elden Ring. Eternal Ring.
Yeah, I remember.
Eternal Ring.
We didn't do the original version of Fantavision.
No, I guess
we just did the new one, which is, let me be frank, gameplay-wise, is basically identical.
What the fucking kind of game is Kessen? Is that
like
a Dynasty Warriors knockoff?
No, it's made by the same guys, and it's a strategy game.
Yeah, it's real strategy. So like, take unit of troops, send them this way, they do attacks. That game's neat.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I played all of, I think, Kessen 2 or 3. I can't remember which.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, it was whichever one they went to Japan.
But yeah, Keston's really tight. I would love to do that. But yeah, we almost have all the PS2 launch games lined up with a stream for each of them. Anyways, hey, Bob.
Hey. So Sony Music Entertainment Japan, Aniplex, and Pocket Pair all work together to establish Pal World Entertainment. I got a quote on what they're going to do. What's up, Chris?
Like, I get Sony getting on this. They're idiots. I also get Aniplex getting in on this. They're also idiots.
I mean, they're also owned by Sony.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But Pocket Pair, like, you guys don't understand that you were entirely carried by your weird Pikachu with guns marketing and $25 price point. Like, you ain't Pokemon, Chief. You don't have staying power to have all this other shit. Like, if you could maybe get one season of an anime off the ground if you double down on being unhinged and be like, yeah, here's our cheerful thing where the guy is selling Pikachu into slavery and it's really cheerful tonally. Maybe that would work a little bit, but you ain't turning into an IP juggernaut.
Chris, you're not thinking about it right. There's a chance.
Right.
There's the
possibility for infinite money.
Right.
And there is
These guys ripped off Pokemon and they're still alive. So Sony went, holy shit, there's a route into the Golden Land.
The funny thing is that this kind of thing legally was settled way back when Capcom sued Data East in the 90s. Over one of their fighting games. Like, they stole all our characters from Street Fighter for this fighting game, and the court was, you based those characters on things that exist in the real world, so, and you don't own those, so go fuck yourself. Which I imagine is what would happen, which is why that all these mobile games get to have knockoff Pokemon that are very directly similar, because, like, they stole Lucario, and then the court goes, you mean Anubis?
So hey, Bob, would you like to read this amazing quote from the companies?
So this was what they released. The joint venture will be responsible for developing the reach of the intellectual property and for expanding commercial business endeavors, including the global licensing and merchandising activities associated with Pal World outside the interactive game. So yeah, this is about making toys, plushes, television, whatever you want, everything.
That's great.
It's going to make them...
Okay.
I can't wait for a 5-year-old to show up at school with a little plush animal that has an AK.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I don't...
We live in such a joke timeline.
Yeah.
What an absurd timeline we live in.
It's bad.
I don't know, guys. I'm willing to believe this is just fucking weird enough to work.
It just might... Like, maybe. Like, I'm not completely...
I don't know. Like, the game's player base has already largely fallen off. They really were a flavor of the month, flash in the pan type thing, powered entirely by their price point and their marketing. And like,
but
maybe
then the Trigger anime comes out.
Yeah, maybe they can I feel like they might be able to get one or two bumps that are lesser than the initial one, but still kind of decent, and then this will just go away.
Yeah, I have to wonder if if they get to the point where it can come out on Switch 2 and PS5 and stuff, maybe that'll give them another bump.
Yeah,
but it does feel like
I don't know how close they are to like 1.0, because that was an early access thing, and real platforms that aren't the Xbox don't allow early access games on their platform. Because hey Microsoft, there's a reason that a console is different from a PC.
No.
Like you shouldn't be allowed. Early access should remain the realm of PC games.
But yeah, this might do something. I don't know. Like, it doesn't have. I try to think about other things that took off like crazy like this, and I think Five Nights at Freddy's, and I feel like Pal World's not that big.
I mean, Five Nights is also a much more adaptable IP.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the core soul stone of whatever Chuck E. Cheese had shoved into his fucking chest.
Also, that guy was releasing a new game like every other week.
He was
going
crazy.
really fast. Whereas Pal World is entirely propped up by stealing countless designs from Pokemon and giving them a gun.
Yeah.
And having slavery and being a crafting survival game. It does not occur to me to be adaptable at all.
Like, I feel like they can sell an expansion.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something that they can do marketing on. Like merchandising on, like, and maybe they can do like 1 or 2 seasons of an anime.
Yeah, they just need to get into the weird kind of like, oh boy, are you sure about this sort of merch? You know, libertarian guys with Asian wives, but it's a Pikachu somehow. Don't tread on me, and I assume they stole one of the many snakes in Pokemon. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I generally am just not talking about Pal World because I find it really dumb, because every time I've ever had a conversation about Pal World with a normal person who isn't on this podcast, it's been them being like, yeah, sure, they stole like 1 or 2 Pokemon, and I'm looking at their team, and it's like, do you need me to bring up 940 examples?
No, there's no amount of examples you could bring up that would matter to people.
Which is why I don't.
Right. Yeah, it's like...
I'm like, you're right, Steve. Pikachu's the only Pokemon. And then I just don't talk about it. Yeah, fucking Salandit. We're not talking about Salandit.
All right, I guess we should move on. So this is weird. The studio Piranha Bytes, which made Elex, Risen, and Gothic.
Elex.
I know.
We played that game.
Right? They are possibly already shut down.
Fuck.
Yeah. They've been around
Those
for 27 years.
Fuckers. Those pieces of... Nobody in leadership at Embracer, they should be fucking sent to an island and never allowed to leave. They should have to... It should be like when they exiled Napoleon to a fucking building on an island until he died of syphilis, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck these people. They just annihilated an enormous chunk of the industry, all for nothing, in the desperate hopes that Saudi Arabia would give them money. Go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. From the sounds of it, the Embracer money ran out at the end of June, and that they were looking for other funding, but that never actually came through. And it seems like most all employees already left for other studios that were more secure. So pictures were released of their studio, which looks like it's just a storage locker almost now. Like it's just a bunch of chairs and stuff stacked up, clearly not used anymore. And that apparently, like, they can't get a hold of, like, the current CEO or previous CEO hasn't made a statement, and it sounds like they just will let the studio disappear without any announcement of closure. It's just like, yeah, it's just gonna disappear, which is really sad. It's insane. I don't know how this sort of thing happens, other than giant company like Embracer does it.
Yeah, we're just at this insane, unreasonable end of capitalism right now, where there is no market force, real markets, that would drive any of what's happening anymore.
Right. But yeah, it's a 27-year-old German developer, one of the bigger studios in Germany. And it's just gone.
God.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe all these are just falsified rumors and everything's fine, but I really don't think so.
I think we got confirmation at some point over the past day, like maybe not English, but even Wikipedia is like, they're gone.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It didn't look fake at all. It just looked sad. All right, I guess I'll move on here. We have some better stuff.
Okay.
Sigma Star Saga, which is a Game Boy Advance game from way forward, is getting a re-release for modern consoles and PC. It's from Limited Run Games using their Carbide engine again.
And Sigma Star Saga, is that the sequel to the...
I don't believe it's a sequel to anything. It's a weird RPG mixed with a shmup. You seem to do the RPG segments just walking around as a dude, and then battles literally are just shmup battles. It looks really interesting.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm looking at this.
Yeah, I know that back in the day, I wasn't interested because the box art's really strange.
The box art is hideous.
Yeah,
really strange is really being nice, Bob.
It is. I feel like the worst part might even be the logo. Like the characters are kind of got great, but the logo makes you just think this is shovelware.
You really do be looking like shovelware.
But that's cool. That's coming out next year. So that game will be 20 years old when it comes out because it came out in 2005 on the Game Boy Advance.
I saw someone in the last week who's like, we need to stop pretending graphics don't matter because these games didn't have good enough graphics for Evo and they didn't get the support that these other games got. And I'm like, no. Graphic fidelity doesn't matter. Art style absolutely fucking matters.
Yeah, there's something that, like, there's a disconnect in people's brain there. It's like, no, we're saying the art style needs to be there, not that you can't just ignore all of that. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looks terrible.
Right.
And it's not because it's not high enough fidelity.
It's not because Captain America's terrible face or whatever wasn't high enough fidelity. God, yeah, that thing does start. That box art really is edging into fucking Ken Pender's town. God.
Yeah, I didn't like it back then. I don't like it now.
But the game itself looks neat.
Yes, the game looks neat. I'm definitely excited to try it. I hope they don't try and charge too much for that because it's just one single individual Game Boy Advance game. Guys,
It'll be 30.
It shouldn't be though.
30.
I know it's going to
be. 30 is the new 20 because 50 is the new 40 because $70.
Worth noting, the PS2 emulation stuff Sony's putting out is generally speaking $10.
God.
Just pointing that out. Just pointing out
that's not a fancy hyped up port. It definitely doesn't have all the exact same features that.
Yeah, I was like, does the Carbon engine even have proper rewind and like?
I think it does have rewind. I don't know about anything else.
Like, I think there's feature parity here.
Yeah. But we didn't repackage it and sell you
a physical copy for way too much. Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. A new Double Dragon was announced. Double Dragon Revive. It's going to be on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. It comes out next year. It uses 3D graphics.
Okay.
It's made by seemingly Ukes, which is the developers of WWE 2009 through 2K19.
What?
Basically, every wrestling game ever made was worked on by them in some way.
What?
They also worked on Earth Defense Force, World Brothers, and Evil Zone.
Hey, Evil Zone! Gonna drink me a gallon of milk.
They've been going forever.
Yeah, they have not made a game that I thought was good since. Let's see. Let me look at their list here.
Is it Evil Zone?
2004.
What'd they make in 2004?
They made the PS2 Berserk game that was a sequel to the Dreamcast Berserk game.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. They also made Rumble Roses.
Oh,
like I said,
Rumble Roses isn't a good game.
Well, I don't know that.
We don't know that.
I've played both Rumble Roses games. They have an audience of one. You know the audience people say is the only audience for Dead or Alive. That is actually factually the only audience for Rumble Roses.
Exciting. But yeah, I more said that just to confirm. Yes, they worked on every wrestling game ever made.
They did. Even the recent AEW one from last year was made by them.
Yep.
This game looks bad.
It does not look good.
I really hate all the designs. Like, I just don't think they're good. Especially, like, look, I'm sorry, a Bobo shouldn't look like a human being.
Oh God, that's supposed to be a Bobo.
That's supposed to be a Bobo. Like, you're wrong if a Bobo looks like a human being. Like, River City Girls got this right.
It's giving me a little bit of Final Fight Streetwise energy to it.
Yeah.
That makes me kind of interested. I kind of wish it wasn't like the regular perspective like you typically see in a Double Dragon game. When they said they were going 3D, full 3D, I was like, well, maybe they're going to turn it into more traditional action game.
Yeah, you kind of hoped it was maybe something more like that Streets of Rage they showed with the Sega, with like the Sega, the new Sega initiative that looked like a little bit more 3D.
Yeah.
And I feel like doing this older perspective is going to give people a different idea and compare it to things that are way better than it.
The question is,
I just don't think you can make a good game.
I mean, yeah,
like that's like my biggest concern.
I think the real question here is how is it going to compare to Double Dragon Neon? Because Double Dragon Neon was also 3D graphics.
It was.
I mean, I really like that game. I don't think it'll be as good as that.
Yeah, it's gonna. That's like I said, without stiff competition, you're going compared to stuff like that is actually pretty good.
I think there's a chance it could be better than Double Dragon Neon. Because as much as I like it, there are shortcomings to that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So depending on what they're doing gameplay wise here, it could be better. But I'm gonna go ahead and say not likely.
I guess another thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
of,
looks so insanely cheap. Just from that trailer they put out.
At the same time, they did that. What was it called? Double Dragon Gaiden thing in the last year or so. That
God.
was the most like half-assed Double Dragon product since Double Dragon 5, which also shouldn't have happened. What I'm trying to say is this is the happiest I've been about an announced Double Dragon product since
I
Neon.
heard that weird roguelike thing, Gaiden, was actually people liked it, but I don't know. They might have been coping and seething.
Some people are mildly warm on it. I haven't heard anyone who thought it was great. I watched reviews and streams of it, and
yeah, I think being a roguelike also hurts that a lot.
yeah.
Certainly feel like it looks a lot. Certainly looked a lot fucking nicer than this game looks.
A little bit.
It also kind of makes me think of King of Fighters Maximum Impact.
Oh, the Revenge?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that kind of that
Revive.
sort of thing. That sort of thing is like they do look like modern KOF characters. I really don't think you can update Billy and Jimmy Lee. I feel like they kind of need to always look like they came out of the 80s.
I'm curious how this goes, and I'm not 100% against doing that. Like, I think that something that surprised me is in that trailer, though it does look cheap, it felt like they put a lot of character into their animations, a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, same.
And that gave me
What's
some
that
confidence.
fighting game that isn't a Double Dragon game but is totally a Double Dragon game?
I know what you're talking about, and I don't remember the name. I would like to note, I did mix up Double Dragon 5 and 4. Double Dragon 5 is the fighting game they made back in the 16-bit era. Double Dragon 4 is the really cheap 2D action game they made 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But that frustrated the piss out of me because obviously Super Double Dragon, the fourth game in the franchise, should be 4.
Right.
And 5 knew that when it named it 5, which it shouldn't have been named to begin with. Fuck all this shit.
Rage of the Dragons.
There we
That's
go.
what it was, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure you're right.
I think that had like better looking redesigns for like Billy and Jimmy.
I just hope Ego Raptor doesn't voice them.
I swear.
I don't think that's a worry in this fucking case.
Yeah, because WayForward's not involved, and that's WayForward's fault.
I know it's WayForward's fault. I'm just like, well, they canonized it, so that's how it is now. It's like, no, please.
No, I don't think there's any universe where they have Ego Raptor voice a dude that looks like the way he looks in this trailer.
You could say that he looks like he's from that. God, what was that Square Enix game with the body jumping?
Third birthday?
No, the one that's obviously cheap and made runs 360 that we played like 2 months ago.
You're talking about Hack. Mind
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah, they look like they could be in Mind Jack. Yeah.
They're
just that
I don't know. They
plain.
just look like the thing that they most look like to me is the character sprites from that King of Fighters gotcha game. Where they had the one where they did like a crossover with WWE, so like The Rock is shit talking Orochi. Although, because Billy and Jimmy are very, very clearly white in this character art, they look like the white guy from Yakitake, Japan.
Oh, Kid. Wait, no, that's yeah.
That's it.
Brad Kidd, I think is his name. Brad Kidd.
Kid is the funniest interpretation of an American stereotype I've ever fucking seen because
I really
they drew
think
his
they
face.
both have like his face.
They drew his face from only one angle.
Yes.
And that's the best joke of the entire show is that he must always be looking like this at the camera.
But yeah, unspeakable fumble on a Bobo. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't, that's
not
obviously
a
the
Bobo.
worst. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. I didn't even know it was supposed to be a Bobo.
He looks kind of Fist of the North Star-ish with his body proportions.
He does.
I mean, that's how Bobo always looked, but he needs to have a fucked up face. Like, he needs to at least have the really sunken in dot eyes.
Yeah, it's giving him a normal face is weird.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, of all the art I was able to find in high quality, I found a Bobo. Because this is a Bobo, right?
Yeah, that's
what
him.
This is what we're going with?
Yeah.
I really thought HD Brad Kidd was coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can give you one of those.
One moment. Yaki Tate Kid.
I feel I don't know which one is the red one. Is that Jimmy?
I think Billy's blonde.
But this is the one that really screamed like the Brad Kid face to me.
This Abobo looks like the Nazi who got hit by a propeller in Raiders.
He does. Actually, he looks almost exactly like that, yeah.
One sec. Okay, so you're saying... Okay.
Looks like Jesse Ventura trying to play Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, that is how Bobo looks, yeah. Okay, so... This is this Billy or Jimmy? I think this is Jimmy.
Yeah, it's Jimmy.
Okay. I don't know. One of them was named Bimmy once, and we just don't talk about it anymore, I guess. Anyways, for anyone who hasn't seen Yakitate Japan, this is the only camera angle they could draw this man's face from, and it's the best joke in the series. This is the American. How can you tell he's American?
God, they do look way too similar.
That's only one of two Americans in Yakitate Japan. The other is I don't even know if he's in the anime, but Tom Crusoe.
I don't think he made it to the anime.
Oh, he did. He totally did.
Okay.
He's a little tiny blonde guy with glasses. I think he was only in the like the end of volume gags in the manga. So I don't know, but I am seeing him from the anime, so he made it in somehow.
Man, I haven't watched that in so long.
Man, that's one of the rare things where I'm like, they ended before the manga did. They did a fucking good thing. That last arc of the manga is not good.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying, which makes me more and more curious every time you say it.
Yeah, sometimes you luck out.
But yeah, Tom Crusoe is having the alternate story, Yakitake Rice, where he is trying to get Americans to eat rice.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible. This is quite the collage you made. Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
He's like a fusion of Brad Pitt and Bill Clinton.
Yeah. People were pointing out that, Brad Pitt, and I'm like, And then someone on Twitter even did the image where they were like, here's the two faces. And I'm like, naruhodo. Stupid.
I guess we should move on.
Let's move on.
Raiden Nova was announced. It's going to be out this year in Japan, October 31st.
Like based on the Flying Shooter series?
Yeah, based on the Flying Shooter series. It's a twin stick shooter. It's a twin stick Raiden game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this is going to work.
Oh, hell yeah. 100%.
But it's going to be on the PlayStations and Switch.
Awesome.
So that's exciting. I want to know what it's like. They put a full trailer. You have a bunch of different of the classic weapons and stuff, but now you can shoot in every direction. And I'm kind of like, are you just going to have a giant open area for me to fly around and kill things? That's weird.
Oh, hell yeah. Do it like, wasn't it one of the Thunder Force games on the Genesis where it's just free roaming? So you just fly your ship in any fucking direction? Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
All right. This next one might be up for fakest trailer of the year.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it. Holy shit.
Black State by Motion Blur Studio, which is a new developer based in Istanbul. It's them making what is clearly Metal Gear Solid, but with that weird, in The Matrix Reloaded, how they had the doors that open to different places.
Yeah.
That's the whole like gimmick for the game. So you'll like run through an environment, like he runs through a train at the beginning, then opens the door at the end of it. He's now in a city street, that sort of thing.
This honestly, the thing, like I just have this horrific premonition that this will come out and will just be Vampire Rain. Like it will somehow be so close to just being Vampire Rain.
That can't happen because you shoot enemies and they die.
But yeah, but this is obviously all super fake, so who knows when that game actually comes out what it will be.
That's fair. But yeah, the fidelity is ridiculous.
It's
I think it's mostly like all the lighting and reflections that are fake. Like these characters look doable, and these animations look jank enough to be real.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things like it won't run if it looks like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if your lighting and reflections are set to this, you're gonna melt anything you put it on.
Dan, you're gonna have to buy it on PC and flex the 4090 on it.
Nah, it's okay. I'll sell my 4090 and get a 5090 to flex on this game. It's the only thing it'll run on after all. That was really bad. Can we talk about the fact that he gets to the end of this and it clearly shows a different I feel like I'm going insane. That's a perfect reflection, but then the moment he gets to it, it's like, oh, it was outdoors, actually.
Yeah, you guys shouldn't do this with doors with windows. I don't know. Like, you had the power to not do that.
Right. It's one of those things like, no, I get why you would do exactly like that, but you shouldn't have done that because it just looks bad.
Oh, man. Why is this bizarre Metal Gear?
Yeah, like I said, it's literally just Metal Gear Solid. Like,
yeah,
almost directly.
Clearly trying to be 4 or 5 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be a lot less stealth-focused than Metal Gear, though. Like, the only move he seems to have in this is killing people. Although you could go in hot in 5 if you wanted.
Right, exactly. Like, it seems like it's going for... He has all sorts of things, equipment to help him find dudes and stuff like that. So I really do think it's primarily a stealth game, but they wanted to show the cool action sequence you could do instead.
You know, I get why we have the two long guns on the back convention the way we do for readability and it looks cool. But can we please, much like the way I bitch about swords, this is less a practicality thing and more a coolness factor. Can we put them on the hip like they're swords? Because having two long guns strapped to your hips is just objectively cool.
We can do that, but only in games where you get to dual wield assault rifles like a badass.
It's funny because this trailer to me just reeks of the tech far outstripped the art design.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm delighted by this. What was the name of this game again?
This is Black State.
All right.
And don't top it yet, Dan. There's one more thing.
Oh, there's one more thing.
Yeah, you get to see literally a Metal Gear boss.
You get to fight a Satan.
Yes.
Oh, weird. Why would IGN link me to watch the Metal Gear Solid Delta trailer after this? That's very bizarre.
I don't understand why they obviously love Metal Gear, but they didn't want to put the main character's butt cheeks as prominently.
Yeah,
they were cowards.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So we got more information on Mado Monogatari 4 this week. They now have a full name.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mado Monogatari Fee and the Mysterious School.
Fia.
It comes out in Japan November 28th. I have no idea if we'll even get this here. I don't think they made a sequel to this series in like 20 years or more, 30 years maybe.
Yeah.
They say they got some people back from the original franchise. I looked up a few of them, and I kept finding people who worked on Baroque.
All right.
So presumably some of them are actually from the old team. The trailer doesn't look like Errol is in it.
Arl.
Arl.
Yeah, that makes sense because that's owned by Sega.
Well, they're
They own
collaborating with Sega on this.
Okay, yeah, that's right. This is the one that was announced quite a while ago.
Yeah, this is the one. This
there
is
might be limits like that though, where they're like, maybe we don't want Arl to be the main character.
Carbuncle is back and seems to have now be haunting a new character, a new little girl that's going through school.
Oh, cool. That's great.
There are Puyo creatures,
It would be weird if there wasn't Poyos.
but it looks like the combat's just action, real-time combat. I'm like, what is this?
Okay, now I need to know.
The Puyo wiki says it's a turn-based game still.
Okay.
Still isn't interesting.
But yeah, it doesn't... Oh man, you're not finding it there.
Nope. Tia and the mysterious what?
Let's see, school.
Is there a fucking trailer for this?
There is. Gamatsu had it.
Okay, I better go to Gamatsu because YouTube ain't fucking spitting it out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't think this would be so hard to find. Jeez.
I assume the trailer's under the Japanese text. That's
Probably.
why it's so hard to find. Yep, that is exactly what's up. Man, I just got rid of the fucking the watch a trailer mode, so that way you could go back to other things. But this is important. I need to see what the fuck this combat looks like. I actually really like Maru Monogatari a lot. I kind of lost it when this was announced.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
It looks like it's maybe one of those we do turn-based but on the same field, because I see like AoE indicators of like where you put moves. Maybe it's like a weird hybrid system.
Maybe.
But I see like menu options here. It seems neat. I hope we get it.
We better fucking get it. Jesus Christ.
Right?
Yeah, these are really good designs. They're adorable.
Speaking of things we're getting, since companies are localizing old games that we never got now, can someone pick up London Seirei Tentaiden for the PS1? The RPG set in Victorian London.
No, I'm sorry. We can only get the worst PS1 RPG ever brought over, or never brought over.
That got
actually,
a translation
until now.
patch, not an
actual release.
Right.
Well, thank you, one video essay I watched, for ruining my recommended forever.
Yeah, why are there so many slurs, Dan?
I'm sorry. It's just sitcoms. You know how they were in the 90s.
Yeah. I only got a couple more things here.
Okay.
Concord's early access starts tomorrow, and apparently it's now just open to everyone's PS Plus.
Oh, wow. That's smart.
That was sure the correct decision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on PC, you're still gonna have to pre-order, but if you're on PlayStation and play online, you won't.
I'm not going to try it, but it's good to know I could.
Okay, me and Dan will try it, right, Dan?
Yes.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I forgot to even put this in here. Apparently Riot Games are working on their own Smash clone.
Yeah.
Called Pool Party is the code name.
Mm-hmm.
They canceled it after they saw how horribly Multiverses failed.
That's the correct decision.
Yeah, is.
That is the correct option. You made the correct choice.
Even though you probably could have made a much better game, Multiverses feels terrible.
Yeah, the number one thing is, like, could you make a good feeling game? Then it's literally nothing like Multiverses.
Mm-hmm.
Could they make a good feeling game? I don't think we know for sure yet.
I don't know. We'll have to wait till that fighting game comes out.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bet on that taking off, really. Like, not even in saying anything about that game, but like, we have multiple data points of fighting games aren't the biggest genre in the world in the best case, if you're not called Smash.
Mm-hmm.
Multiversus didn't perform. None of those other League games performed. Not even the first one that actually kind of got some marketing and people knew about it, like I bought and played it.
Mm-hmm.
But seemingly none of those performed.
Yeah, I think that Riot's going to have to deal with.
I would be worried. Also, allegedly, I think like even Runeterra, their Hearthstone equivalent, like fell off because they like mismanaged it and drove it into the ground.
Right, like they're going to have to realize their IP, like people who play League of Legends play League of Legends. That is it.
Yeah, like Arcane was really successful, but that feels like in spite of the League IP rather than because of it.
Hmm.
Man, I don't even think that had League of Legends in the title like the others. I think it's just Arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they got to leverage market-tested character designs.
Yeah. And it might, like, I feel like this fighting game could still succeed just on that of like those are good designs largely. People would like those just broadly.
Hey,
the name's not great, but
when the fuck are we getting that League thing? Like Rift?
I don't know if they're going to do that on anything but phones now.
They said they were going to do it on console. What feels like over a year ago?
That feels like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck's going on?
I don't think they're doing it,
bro. I just want to play MOBA on a controller.
I don't think they're going.
Doesn't anybody in this town love MOBAs? God. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still think using multiverses as a data point is really weird because multiverses was like, as someone who played multiverses and put money into it, 30% cringe.
Yeah, no, that was one of their data points for having canceled the project. So
yeah,
like I'm sure
they
were
probably
other things
just looked at a number of things.
Like there's already Brawlhalla. Like Brawlhalla is taking the not Smash platform fighter slot.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have ever played it. None of us ever will play it. We'll never know anybody that played it, but it still has 10 million players.
Didn't we play it?
I think we played it like once.
Yeah, we played it. I was like, oh, this feels bad, but then I put it down.
Right?
It keeps happening.
I think that the other thing was that even though they canceled the project, it sounded like people were allotted other jobs in other departments.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah, so that, luckily that wasn't some massive layoffs around this.
Well, that's good. Anyway, that's it for news. Tomorrow, Bob and I are playing Dark Sector.
Wait, don't you have any announcements to make?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
That was the announcement. The stream announcement we were here to make was about tomorrow being Dark Sector, the 7th gen shooter everyone loves, that Bob won't shut up for, that he has a hat for.
That I've always said is okay at best.
I don't know about this Kroll movie that keeps coming up.
Yeah, we might have to watch Kroll.
We might have to do that after the podcast tonight, just so I know.
Kroll being pretty cool when I saw it on TV 25 years ago.
Yeah, there you go. A Warframe prequel, you know?
Yeah, it is actually.
It is actually the prequel to Warframe. So
man, is Kroll even available
Kroll or
on
Dark
streaming
Sector?
anywhere?
Maybe both.
Maybe both. We don't know.
Kroll, I believe, is still streaming on Amazon Prime. It was last I checked, which was over a year ago.
Okay.
You could probably also find it on some sort of internet archive.
Looks like you could only rent it. Looks like you cannot no longer just watch it.
Of course.
Oh yeah. People in chat are wondering why we didn't bring up Nintendo uploading that trailer for the bizarre horror game called Emio, where it was really a hyper teaser.
Oh,
it didn't really have much to it.
And
And
like it didn't have anything.
some people were like, it might be made by Blooper. They announced they were working on a Nintendo thing. And I went, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Nintendo is the only publisher that can fix you, so I don't care if the worst developer in the world teams up with them, because they'll be like, you're gonna make this game to our quality standards, or we're gonna cancel it.
Right? Like Mercury Steam made a good game under them. That seemed impossible.
They made 2 good games under them.
Yeah, it seemed impossible before that.
Man, if they really do have a tool that lets you get 3DS games over to the Switch easily, where the fuck is Samus Returns?
Yeah, right.
Better happen. It might happen.
And they can use those new brothership assets to make bad ports of bad ports.
No.
I look forward to holding my Switch long ways and feeling the weight of it snap the Joy-Con off.
Why are you holding it by the Joy-Con?
Well, because you like, where else are you gonna hold it? The buttons are on the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Why would you have to hold it long ways?
So you can fit both screens.
Oh.
No, Chris, this is just a really bad idea. Don't try and maximize
This is really
it.
good. The Switch 2 should just have connective like tap lines, right? And you slot them like the top and bottom have the rails, and you could put as many screens as you want all on one Switch.
Or just the screen itself can like swivel like an early 2000s phone, like a sidekick.
You know, somebody actually made a device to do that to the first Switch, and then the OLED came out, and it was no longer physically compatible with said device.
Right.
I own that. Yeah, Flip Grip. That was the name of that. It's good for shmups. Anyways,
Yeah, I was gonna say Ikaruga fans will do anything to not give up playing Ikaruga.
it's true. Chris, did you have any upcoming streams or anything?
No, I have to roof a house,
Okay.
which means several days where I have to get up at 5 a.m.
Ugh.
because
Ew.
you have to start the second the sun is. Because here's the thing about shingles. If you've never looked at a shingle, the way shingles work is they have two halves. They have the half that you see, which is the shit with the sand on it and all that. You've seen a shingle. Then they have the half that you don't see that you nail down. Because otherwise the roof would leak, obviously. Like you can't nail through these shingles, you overlap them. They have a tar strip between the visible and not visible halves of a shingle.
Yeah.
And once it gets above about 85 degrees, you can no longer peel shingles in a bundle apart because the tar is hot.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And you can no longer really work with them functionally because the tar is hot. And also, even if that wasn't the case, if you're up on a roof in the middle of a southwestern United States summer, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which means I have to start at 6 and finish at around 10:30, 11.
Otherwise,
Like
you'll
that's
die.
that is when it is too much to go further.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, roofing is not not complicated and doesn't have many things that take a long time. It just sucks. It's actually better now that you can use these new types of shingles called architectural shingles.
How do they work?
Old shingles were called 3-tab shingles, and the way it worked is they had like 3 squares with gaps, but they like flaps. They were 3 flaps. And those sucked because it meant that you had to carefully match them, or else like the roof would look bad because you would see the gaps between the shingles. You don't see the gaps between shingles with architectural shingles. You just have to make sure that the seams aren't in a line so that they can't leak. Otherwise, it's like invisible because they do not have flaps.
Okay.
Cool.
So it is not nearly as much of a problem. It is much easier to put them on, even if they are a little more expensive, but that doesn't matter because they're now code, so you have to use them.
Ooh.
Nice.
Also, another perk is with architectural shingles, you get to buy ridge caps. Ridge caps are things that go along the top of the roof, the peak. And before architectural shingles, you had to cut them yourself out of 3-tab shingles, which means that you would be like, okay, you're done work. You're done. Now go sit there with a pair of scissors and cut shingles for 3 hours to get this shape and hopefully get enough ridge caps to do the ridge.
I'm seeing people.
Also, the house I have to do has no valleys or anything. It's real fucking easy. It has a barn roof, or not a barn roof, but like a shed. It has like two sides that go up to a peak. There's no valleys. There's no hips.
Nice.
There's none of that shit.
You don't have to do a spire.
I'm seeing people in chat. One of them says, I want Chris to talk more about fixing houses. And another one says, we need aggro talking about swords, Chris talking about building houses, and Dan talking about video production. Bitch, we've recorded countless movie commentary tracks that are literally this.
Yeah, it's bled out, and now I'm like, this movie seems like it has bad color grading.
It's really a fun time when you just start fixating on specific things going on in a movie.
My metric is now, does it look anything like the AVGN movie? Then it has bad color grading.
Meanwhile, my favorite Chris talks about house shit was randomly, and I believe to boldly flee, when you get a low angle or high angle low shot of a ceiling.
It was not to boldly flee. It was one of the Lumelin films. It was either Summer of the Chew Toy Soul or Only Interstellar Pinball Lives Forever. It was one of those two where I got really mad at popcorn ceilings.
Oh, I think it was Crowning in the one I was talking about. Like,
oh yeah, maybe.
You're seeing Doug Walker's house, and all you're talking about is like, this Crowning looks like fucking shit. Look at that. It just looks terrible. And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, he's right. Like, it was really fucking funny.
I think there's something in some other one where I get really mad at a cabinet. That might have been the very first Isolation 119 commentary track.
Yes, I think so.
Man, like they put that cabinet in wrong, the doors don't even close. They're not matched up right.
The first one,
they
or
cared. They didn't care at all.
Every commentary track of Isolation 119. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to hear it again in a few months. I love that we have so many commentary tracks on that movie. God, I never want to see the supercut that is us saying the same things.
Right.
Yeah, it's just gonna be that critic joke.
It will. Absolutely.
Man, we're reviving all this other shit. When's the critic revival?
I don't know. It's so fucked up that they never once even tried.
Everyone in Hollywood hates John Lovitz too much, I guess.
Doesn't anybody in this town love John Lovitz?
Oh, never mind. They shouldn't do it because Charles Napier died 13 years ago, and he's the voice of Duke.
Duke, yeah, I know.
You can't do it without Duke Phillips.
Yeah, I have to wonder who they would get to, like, if they had to recast the voice of Duke Phillips, if they would get someone.
I don't know.
All hail Duke. Duke is life.
God, what a perfect character.
He is. What was it? How did you get in here? I let myself in. It's just a silhouette of him through the wall.
I love when he put the singing hillbilly bear in his Hall of Presidents instead of Bill Clinton. Nobody's noticed yet.
Yeah, that was really good.
Man, remember when like the worst things about the president was they were probably a sex pest and also kind of a hick.
Yep.
And like that was the floor.
And I was like, oh, it won't get any worse than this. Anyway. Hey, Aggro, do you have any books you're going to be reading?
Reading is a sin developed by liberals to try and trick us into questioning things we ought not. Sorry, I'm currently trying to think of which swords would make the best house shingles because of that shit you said earlier.
Yeah, how did Moby Dick go? Because when I went in there, you were reading poems.
Oh yeah, no, I just read the first couple chapters of Moby Dick.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like something horrible went wrong.
You really want to get out before he starts describing people from countries with different ethnicities.
Oh, okay.
You want to leave that as an exercise for the reader.
Oh, okay.
Join us next time for, I guess, chapter 10.
I should just start reading, like, the weird chapters. Here is a list of paintings of whales that I think suck. There are 2 chapters of that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm not sure if you two knew this. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. Big Think Dimension is possible because of you and your support over at patreon.com/GBpodcast, where you can get access to the movie Isolation 119, at least 3 commentary tracks for the movie Isolation 119, gamer premonitions, extras. You get extras of them. That's going to be important. Patreon.com/GBpodcast.